Call Tyrone. Call him and tell him come home. Help you get your shit. Hey, Abu, how you doing? Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed the watch party. So he's talking about our Patreon watch parties that we do quite often. So consider joining my Patreon. So shout out to all my patrons if you're in here already. What's up, Abu? Thank you so much for your super chat coming straight out the gate. That's what's up. Hey, New Eyes. Yes, you're on time. Yes. Hey, Dr. Ken. Dr. Ken recently had a birthday. Happy belated birthday. NYC Black Honey's up in the house. Hey, Adrian, what's up? We got Adora up in here. Indigo, what's up, Indigo? Roma's up in here. Yes, I don't like HOAs. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Hey, Gloria. Gloria, my Gloria. See, y'all don't know nothing. That's old school shit. Things I've been the same since you went away. That's that old school shit. Who sang that? Enchantment? Gloria. That song, oh, touches me inside. My Gloria. That's my shit. Yes, it's Pisces season. Shout out to all the Pisces. We got Siobhan in the house. What's up, Siobhan? Golden Owl in the house. We got some diggable planets up in here. Welcome to all the diggable planets. Shout out to all the Pisces. Happy birthday, Pisces. Love y'all to death. Even though I'm going to fry the shit out of y'all too tonight. But I'm going to start off with some really good things about Pisces though. And it seemed like it's been a while since I've been live, so I might be a little rusty. Hey, Oro. We got Oro up in here. Hey, Angela. Things have been crazy lately, haven't it? Shit is just crazy, but a lot of it is dealing with this transit of the Scorpio South Node. So you can expect more crazy shit. One of the current events I'm going to be getting into definitely has to deal with this Scorpio South Node. Hey, Gary Bell, how you doing? What's up, Leo Rich? Make me think of Louis Rich lunch meats. Remember them? See, if you grew up in the 80s, you really know about that Louis Rich lunch meats because they didn't have many different types of ready-made, like ready-cut lunch meats on the market back then. So you only had a few options. You had your Oscar Mayer, you had your Louis Rich. I was always more on the Louis Rich end. Y'all remember Louis Rich lunch meat? Some of y'all still probably get it. Now they got all different types. What's that one where it'd be like you could get a whole pound of turkey? It'd be like $1.29 Frost King or something. It's something dealing with frost, I think. It'd be like you get a whole pound of turkey. That should be like $1.99. That'd be on that frost shit. Hey, the light, how you doing? Mr. Motivator up in here. You remember Louis Rich, Siobhan? Hey, King of Wands. Yes, we're selling $5 fish plates, 3 sandwiches, and 50 drinks. 50-cent drinks. Yes, for the burial. All right. Hey, King Jason, how you doing? All right, King Jason coming straight out the gate with a question. You say, hey, Rob, would I be happier on my Venus line or should I stay on my Pluto descendant Mars IC line? Well, being on the Mars and Pluto descendant lines can be a challenge, especially not so much you creating the challenge, but people creating challenges for you. And you might feel blocked in some areas just dealing with the people that are in your midst. The Venus line can be good. You most certainly probably gonna meet somebody with living on the Venus line. So if that's one of your priorities, I'd say go for it. But let me see what the cards say. But thank you for your super chat. Love to love you, baby. Oh, love to love you, baby. Who sang that song? When I lay you close to me. All right, let's see. Would you be happier on your Venus line, or should you say on your Pluto descendant Mars IC line? All right, let's see. You'd definitely be happier being on that Venus line, because I got the World card for Venus line. I got the 8 of Wands for that Pluto Mars line. So the 8 of Wands can mean that you ready to boogie, you ready to get the hell up out of Dodge. So, and it can also deal with a string of unsuccessful love affairs too. Yeah, it's Donna Summer. That song used to make me all blush when I was a kid. Love to love you, baby. Cause she all moaning in that song. Oh, love to love you, baby. You know, she was a Capricorn, wasn't she? She had that Capricorn look too. Kind of goatish in the face. And when I say goatish, it don't mean like I'm not like making fun. Cause you could have that goat look and basically mean you got the nice chisel features and shit. You got that shit. My sound went out. I hope y'all didn't miss much. Yeah. And I just liked her style. I really like bad girls. Bad girls. Talking about the bad girls. Toot toot. Hey. Beep beep. See, I didn't know what that meant back then, but basically she was talking about tooting, which is snorting cocaine. See, back then they was slick with the lyrics. They would slide shit in there. And kids wouldn't know nothing. They wouldn't know what the hell that meant. They was just singing along. Toot toot. Hey. Beep beep. And it was like that whistle blowing. Yeah. Yup, she sure did, Beyonce. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Beyonce, was I going to talk about Jay-Z tonight a little bit? Even though this is Pisces season, we got to get into some current events. First of all, my patrons, they be putting me on to the latest stuff, because a lot of times I don't be up on like the latest events and stuff like that. So some of y'all patrons, y'all put me up on the whole Stevie J situation, and we got to talk about that. So we could start off with that. And did y'all see that shit? Thank you, Maya, for your super chat. You said, should I stay here in VA or go back home to Cali? Well, you know, Cali is basically done for. I don't know if you want to go back there. I'm going back to Cali. 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 I'm going back to Cali. I don't think so. So, should you stay in VA or go back to Cali? I got the Page of Swords, which is telling me that you need to stay in VA and you need to be more about local areas. So finding like the best area to move to live in VA instead of going all the way back to Cali. So that's what I'm seeing with that Page of Swords card. So good luck to you. First of all, let me pull up a picture of this dude. I'm gonna see if I can find a video clip, because this shit, when I saw this shit, I was like, it's undeniable what's going on in this video. Did y'all see the video with Stevie J and he was being interviewed by this chick? Oh yeah, we're gonna get into Benzino too, Indigo. Yeah, these prices, especially these gas prices, are crazy. No wonder why Benzino was at the Red Roof Inn. I mean, shit's getting rough out here, man. So y'all seen, some of y'all seen the video. I'm gonna try to find a clip, because this shit is, I mean, it's blatant to me what's going on. Try to get a clip where there's not many
I noticed I am.
What? Oh, that's one of these shorts.
I noticed I am.
Oh yeah, he did say that. Hold on.
I noticed I am.
That is, he is so nasty. But I mean, should we be surprised he's a Scorpio? And I'm not saying all Scorpios are like that, but I'm like, damn it, Scorpio is one of the most predictable signs out there. Because we always know it's going to have to deal with either sex, death, or some type of crime, some crime shit. I mean, take your pick. They always into some crazy shit. All right.
You addressed everything. I really appreciate the fact that you know, decided to do that. So in the very beginning, speaking of reality TV, one of the things that stuck out.
I noticed I am.
You addressed everything. I really appreciate the fact that you know, decided to do that. So in the very beginning, speaking of reality TV, one of the things that stuck out to me is when you said that I was real on love and hip hop because of the fact that I'm gonna be me at 100 all the time. And you talked about in the first couple of scenes, the first few years that you were walking, because you didn't have a car.
How's this right here?
Yep, Stevie.
See this body right here?
Hold on, wait. It's a hand right there. Hold on. One of the things, you come from a big family. You have a lot of siblings, and you also have the same amount of kids that you had. Your father. One of the things you talked about is your early upbringing, and you talked about the fact that your dad was a gospel singer, so you felt like he was definitely like supportive of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
From under Diddy's camp, under Bad Boy, like recently in the media talking about how they felt like they got the short end of the stick. And you said,
yeah, but that's their problem. I noticed I am.
You addressed everything. I really appreciate the fact that you know.
Y'all see that? Sound like he said, yo, keep sucking me off. That's what it sounded like he said. And then you could see that he was distracted. Couldn't even focus on the interview because he getting topped off by some chick. But when you look at his chart, not really surprised. I mean, he's not just a Scorpio. He got some other placements like Mars and Aquarius that can make him prone to do such a thing. So he definitely don't have no respect for women, and that's why he felt it was okay to have fellatio performed on him while he's giving some interview. And it also just shows that he doesn't think very highly of her ranking in terms of the media, because if for some other interviewer, someone that had more clout, I doubt he would have been presenting himself in that light. Now where is his there's his chart. And Stevie J, he's going through some transits that can really make him act out sexually around this time. So he got Mars in Aquarius. That alone can make him very sexually liberated. And it can make him basically down for whatever sexual, sexually, be very experimental, be into, different forms of sex and all that. Also being naked. He got not just Mars in Aquarius, he got that North Node in Aquarius. He got his sun in Scorpio square his nodes, his Aquarius North Node, Leo South Node. That Aquarius Scorpio square can produce somebody that is overly freaky, that is sexually perverse, that can be very inappropriate at times. Mars square Venus, Mars square Mercury. That Mars square Venus alone explains why he can't be in a harmonious relationship with anybody. He can't be in this, balanced relationship. He can't be in this peaceful type of relationship. It's always going to be tumultuous with him. And he's like, again, he's the type that can be very disrespectful with that Mars in Aquarius square in Venus and Mercury in Scorpio. And that Mercury could join the Venus in Scorpio. That's the epitome of him getting head while he's giving an interview, especially with the Neptune influence, because that's dealing with fantasy, but also video. So yeah, he is the type that's prone to do that. And the transiting South Node in Scorpio is right between his Mercury and Venus right now. So he's liable to act out sexually during this time and be really hot in the pants for it. And he might get himself caught up around this time if he's not careful. Somebody said she the same chick who fucked Tupac over. Who we talk about? Faith was not a good woman. Faith, yeah, to me, Faith is of questionable character. If you ask me, but I always felt like that ever since she got with Biggie. I always felt that Jocelyn is trans. I think it's very obvious, but a lot of people act like they can't see it. And that Mars square Venus and Mercury, that could deal with part of that could be part of the trans situation too, where he's not totally open with his sexuality fully to the point where he is going to admit that, yeah, that's how he gets down at times. Like I said, he's down for whatever. So sometimes he could play straight, other times he could play gay, other times he could play in between. It is what it is. But he's the type that will get caught up with that sun squaring his nodes. He better be careful because he could end up getting killed by somebody. Could be somebody he owed money to, some type of boss. She do be faking that accent, LaBoo. It's not as thick as she be trying to portray. If you're talking about Jocelyn. LaBoo said you don't think she's really Puerto Rican either. What she call herself, the Puerto Rican princess. Stevie. I agree, Indigo. Faith is a dark-sided Gemini. You can't trust that chick at all. I don't believe. She the type that'll flip-flop, hip-hop. You don't stop. All right. There was another one that's in the news recently. Oh, Jussie Smollett. Let me pull up a picture of this fool. Jussie, I am not suicidal Smollett. So he's another one that's currently in the news because he got convicted and he was sentenced to 150 days. And like I said during our watch party on Patreon, I was like, I don't think he's gonna be in jail long. I didn't think it would only be a few days. Hey Tara, how you doing? I didn't think it'd be that damn soon. But again, I'm not surprised because if you remember when I was talking about him, this was like last year or maybe the year before when he first got caught up in this. Because I think this story is about 2 years old at this point. I was saying that he's not operating on his own. Like somebody's pulling this dude's strings. So whoever was pulling his strings before, I'm sure it's the same person that pulls strings to get him out. But I feel like this is all theater anyway. For what? I guess it's just to promote the Black Lives Matter thing and try to foster some type of civil war up in this country to keep division going on. Kawhi, you're saying Lee Daniels? Oh, Kawhi, you just reminded me you had a question. Thank you for your super chat. Let me go up to your question. Kawhi, honey. So you said, should I stay? Thank you for your super chat. Should I stay with forensic psychology major or switch to accounting? Oh, I love this question. Should you stay with forensic psychology as your major or switch to accounting? I used to be an accounting major. I was just thinking about that earlier today. Okay. I got the Sun card. So the Sun card is more on the forensic psychology major end than accounting. So, because that sun card and accounting, I'm not seeing that in terms of them being related, because the sun card is more about you can make things come to a realization, and that's very much forensic psychology. Whereas accounting, you basically at a desk just crunching numbers, ain't nothing really spectacular about that. But with the sun, it's like you can have some amazing findings through forensic psychology. So major, breakthroughs and all that type of stuff. So stick with the forensic psychology major. That's going to be more to your liking anyway. All right, so Jussie Smollett. So what's going on with him right now? That first of all, I'm gonna look at his chart and see what blesses him with the ability to be able to get that get out of jail free card or whatever in this Monopoly game that they're playing. Where's this fool's chart? Oh, here he is. Let me just share my screen. So did y'all see that video clip where he was all screaming like, "I'm not suicidal"? You said, I noticed that Jussie looks darker and we're just coming out of winter. I wouldn't be surprised if he was tanning to further his agenda in court. Yo, you got a point, because I did notice that. It was like I noticed it briefly but didn't think much about it. But you're so right. Wow. I get, yeah. Right. Almost like he was trying to say that, yes, this is like, to me, it was like as soon as he saw those cameras on him in that courtroom, he thought that they said action, like this is an Empire episode, and him screaming, "I am not suicidal" and shit. Yeah, this could have been a humiliation ritual, and he does have Sun opposition Neptune in his chart. He got Sun and Moon opposing Neptune, and that's what I mean about somebody pulling his strings. He ain't operating like on his own with this whole fiasco. He is an actual actor to the hilt. Like, you can't ever know who this guy really is. It's like he could even be like kind of like a shell of a person on some narcissistic shit. He does have Mars conjoined to Saturn, which can make him have a very hardened ego and make him very much about obeying his masters, but as a way to make it to the top. So he is the type that would go through a humiliation ritual to make it to the top. And that Mars and Saturn's in Libra, and that's pointing to this whole court case and all that. But he is the type that will do his master's bidding if he's promised a rise in terms of his career, or he's promised some type of reward. He got Jupiter at the 0 degree of Scorpio. Number one, that could mean that he's hypersexual. And like, he could have been around the block a number of times. So again, he don't have no problem doing his master's bidding. And that master's bidding could have started with the casting couch. With that Jupiter at the 0 degree of Scorpio, he's probably been passed around the industry a number of times. He got a Capricorn South Node, which can make him too much about ambition, too much about making it to the top. Type that will be willing to sell his soul. Not saying everybody with that Capricorn South Node can be that way, but he does have Mars and Saturn squaring that Capricorn South Node. Now that can point to his personality and what he's willing to do, like even like exploit his own self, exploit his own race, because Mars and Saturn are also squaring that Cancer North Node. Remember, I said when you see them Cancer themes, Cancer deals with race. So there's your race aspect right there that he's dealing with. But also the run-in with the police with that South Node. But yeah, with the Sun and Moon opposing his Neptune, it's like he's not operating on his own. He's basically enslaved by somebody. And somebody said Lee Daniels. You think that's who it is? LaBoo said he allegedly has HIV. Nothing wrong with that, but it was mentioned his immune issues. Yes, ADAP. Jupiter in the 8th can be similar to Jupiter in Scorpio. Yes, it can. Roman said he is getting more attention in the Epstein trials. Maybe to promise him more film and TV roles. Daniel said he's a crisis actor. Yeah, I agree. It's all an act for him. And with that Sun opposition Neptune, unfortunately, he could have been victimized as a very young person and never really had a chance to develop, I'll say, that true sense of ego. Because, with narcissists, it's like they have this hardened ego, but it's like we all have an ego, and that ego is basically our sense of individuality. And like with the ego, we can draw lines with people and things like that. But it's like he was broken from an early age, it seems, and he's never had a chance to really develop this strong sense of self with his sun and moon opposing Neptune like that. That's like he could have had both parents that were in on some sinister shit. And like, don't he come from an actor family? Like both parents could have been involved in some type of cult or whatever. Or you could even say the cult of Hollywood. Who are his parents, by the way? Because wait a minute, Siobhan said, oh, this is interesting that you said that. That's the opposition. Let me share this chart again. That's what I mean about these oppositions. Like both of his parents, and the moon can also just represent his whole family, are like part of some cult-like type of group or whatever. And like from an early age, like he's been basically totally enslaved to it, and he's never had a chance to develop like himself as an individual. So now he can basically become anybody. So Dr. King, you don't think his parents are in the business, but I wonder who they are though. What's going on with them. Yeah, that's what I think what happened with Jussie. He had his innocence, especially because he's a Capricorn South Node. A lot of them do have their innocence taken from an early age. And his Mars and Saturn are squaring that Capricorn South Node. That could deal with like some bad sexual experiences, could even be sexual abuse. Oh, yeah. Because this is his birth time. That Capricorn South Node's in the 8th house. That could be some sexual abuse at the hands of, a older man. Could even been a father or a father figure. So, yeah. And that Neptune's in the 7th house. Jupiter at the 0 degree of Scorpio, ruling that 7th house. Yeah, he's definitely under someone's power. He don't have no power of his own. He might be on some heavy drugs too, like prescription drugs, to keep him, at least acting right. I feel you, Siobhan. Siobhan said just because they're not in the business doesn't mean they're not in the business. Yeah. Ellie said this got dark really quickly, didn't it? But that's how I am. I like the dark. So is it that his whole family is basically backing him up, supporting his story and all that, and trying to say that he was really assaulted by those guys? They're really like going along with his lie. Indigo said his parents seem like typical stage parents, anything to get their kids on. Remember, the whole family started out with a sitcom back in the 90s. Oh, so they do. Okay. See what I mean? They do have that Hollywood connection going back. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. He got Venus conjoined Chiron. That can mean he got some strange taste, man. Like in terms of what he likes, relationship wise, but also food wise. Like he's a strange dude. But yeah, enough about him. We gotta talk. We're gonna get a little more on the darker end. Let me just segue over into this. We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no. This song is very Pisces. We can dance and party all night and drink some cherry wine. Uh-huh. We don't have to take our clothes off and have a good time. Oh no. We could dance and party all night and drink some cherry wine. Who sang that? Yes, Jermaine. Remember, ain't that a Pisces song? Because you know how Pisces, I've seen this really with the Pisces women. They can make a man wait for a long time. And I've known of some Pisces chicks where the man, they let the man go down on them, but then they ain't giving up no coochie. And the man, he's steady buying them all types of shit, paying their bills and shit. And all they doing is just letting them lick the kitty. That's it. Yes, Jermaine Stewart. Yeah, that song is a Pisces song. We don't have to take our clothes off and have a good time. Speaking of magic, that's part of Pisces magic. And Pisces women, they can have this magical effect. They can have this, like this spell over men. Men are spellbound dealing with these Pisces women. Pisces love their wine, right? And drink some cherry wine. Uh-huh. All right. Oh, now we got to talk about this story. So we're going to take a little more somber tone. But I just want to use her as an example that the chart don't lie. And it's always in the chart. How you got here, how you going to lead this earth, you know, what could be ailing you, things like that. The saddest part to me about this whole story, y'all know who this is, right? This is Tracy Braxton. And I'm surprised we don't have at least 100 people up in here yet, but it's Friday night, I guess, and the restrictions are being lifted around about this time. You know, don't get too happy because they might be trying to cook up another variant. But yeah, no, it's only 85 people up in here. But people might be out having a good time. If so, I hope so. Oh, Jeffrey Daniels, yeah, he was in Shalimar. Did I say Jeffrey Daniels instead of Jermaine Stewart? I had a crush on Jeffrey Daniels when I was a kid. Make that move right now, baby. You only go around once in a lifetime. Make that move right now, baby. That was a shit. Wait a minute, Ron Jeremy, why is he in the news? Is he dealing with another court case where he was trying to get with somebody underage or something? Didn't he get caught out there like that? And Ron Jeremy, isn't he a Pisces? Yeah, Chronicles of Marceline. Oh, Marceline, why you so mean? I'm not mean. I'm 1,000 years old and I just lost track of my something. My kids used to sing that song. I forgot what show that's from. Oh, Indigo said, no, somebody got him mixed up with Jermaine. They thought Jermaine was in Shalimar. Oh, now Lord Gates is saying a new pandemic on the way. Oh my God, this plutonium motherfucker. I was about to say something, but let me stop before I get shut down. Ron Jeremy is a creep. Thank you, NYC. While the Regal TV said, yeah, in Chicagoland, we don't have to wear masks or show the V cards at restaurants anymore. So folks getting out in these streets again. Yeah, I guess people are enjoying themselves. Speaking of enjoying themselves, it is Pisces season. This is the time to, really just kick back and have a good time, have a party or go to a party or whatever, have some drinks and all that type of stuff, get loose. So I've been really like on this Pisces escapism thing lately. And I've been escaping through certain videos on YouTube. Let me tell you what, and this has to do with Pisces being intercepted in my second house. So I've been watching videos about Michelin star restaurants. And Michelin star is a rating, like Michelin company, the tire company. Well, years ago, they came out with this travel book for travelers. And in the travel book, they would highlight some of the best restaurants all over the world. And then they started to have like this competition where they would award some of the fine dining high end restaurants Michelin stars. If you ever heard of Gordon Ramsay has a few restaurants that have Michelin stars, or he's a 3 Michelin star chef, which is like the highest you can go in terms of fine dining. So I've been escaping through watching these high end restaurants, like $400 a meal, but usually it's like 20 course meal. It'd be 15 course meal, and it's them high acidity restaurants. But I'm just getting off on the attentiveness of the wait staff, the waiters and the waitresses and the chefs and all that. It's just like blowing my mind. But that's so Pisces intercepted in my second house, and with the sun running through there, Mercury and Pisces, I'm like really like just losing myself in watching these videos. It's very pretentious too, so I do get a kick out of that. Yes, the tasting menus. Thank you, Queen Dara. Those are the videos I like the most. So I've been learning about certain restaurants, like Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, Petrus, this woman chef, Core restaurant, different. It's just very amazing. I also been watching videos about this guy that travels solo throughout Japan, and he's getting on these luxury ferry ships that take him from different islands and stuff. Like, oh my God, I'm just losing myself in that. But it's all because it's Pisces season. And I don't know if some of y'all don't know this, but one of my passions is ships and seas. But I'm a scaredy cat, so I probably would never get on a cruise, even though I've thought about it a number of times. And I love to watch videos of yachts and big ships, even like naval ships and stuff. I got Sun conjunct Neptune with Pisces intercepted in my second house. So that's one of my like weirdo, like nerdy type of pleasures, watching seas, especially rough seas, ships in rough seas, just watching, looking at yachts and the insides of yachts, and just like I would like to go on a yacht at least once. I have to admit that. And I wouldn't mind doing one of those overnight ferry trips like in Japan. But yeah, I'm just giving y'all my Pisces shit right now, like in terms of how I'm living out Pisces season. But on a more somber note, Pisces also rules sorrow. Oh, before I get into this, let me see what y'all saying. Queen Dara said, do a yacht party tied to the deck, right? How much is a yacht party? How much am I going to charge everybody? Because I would love to do that. But that'd be like $200 a head. But that would include food. That would include some entertainment. Because, of course, I have some live entertainment. That would be nice, though. We do like a little sail around the Caribbean on a yacht. Man. Oh yeah, some of y'all are saying, yeah, we definitely going back on another lockdown. And you know what I think is going to happen next? They're going to spring out that universal basic income. Like they're probably going to do another round of stimulus checks to really fuck up the economy. And I did want to talk about the Scorpio South Node transit a little bit too. Siobhan said, I'm Neptunian and I love ships. Yes, I'm just so fascinated with ships and the water and the ocean and all that. Okay, Open 642. And I always feel like Open 642, your name is like a high-end restaurant. Because I be thinking like that. And I have to admit, I do have this thing where even just to spend a day in the lap of luxury and like do the whole fine dining thing and all that type of stuff, I do like to go like first class with shit, even though I never been on a first class flight, got first class. I don't think it's worth it. But some things are worth it to me, like staying in a real posh hotel where you basically get carte blanche service and all that stuff, and concierge and all that, and doing the whole fine dining thing, and maybe just doing that at least once in my life would be nice. And that's very Pisces. Pisces deals with things that are rare, things that are precious. So like precious diamonds, precious jewels. That's Pisces. Things that are like rare, like Wagyu beef and shit. Like if you got Pisces intercepted in the second house, you might be in, or just having Pisces in the second, you might be into that fine dining shit. You might be into costly perfumes and shit. You might be into diamonds, and you might know the different types of grades of diamonds and shit, and the VVS's and all that type of stuff. So, or if you have Venus in Pisces, you could be very much into that high end type of shit that not everybody can buy. And that's why the rich people, they are isolated. That's another Pisces theme. Pisces rules isolation. If you think about it, people that have the most money, they're isolated from society. So it has its benefits, but also its curses. And that's true with every sign. So it's like you got to ask yourself, would you really want to be filthy rich? Because what comes with that is a sense of isolation. And the rich people will even tell you that. But some of them don't mind. Some of them don't want to be like everybody else, and don't want to be with the masses. But other people do feel that sense of isolation, like they just can't relate to the average person. Yes, insulation too. That's another Pisces theme. So these people are insulated, they're isolated from normal society and the normal problems of society. But at the same time, it's lonely, like Andre said. Yeah, it's lonely up at the top. So you got to ask yourself if that's the life you really want. And it's hard for you to trust these so-called friends. You might get the mentality that everybody wants something from you. Millionaire said, I'm already an introvert, so being on the wealthy isolation. Yeah, I don't think I would mind the isolation that comes with wealth so much, but I will say I wouldn't be the high sedity type of person either. But again, you do have to isolate yourself to a certain degree, or else you're going to be a mark. You're going to be a target for thieves, which is another Pisces theme. You see how it all fits together? Nicole for the Soul said, I've always kind of felt isolated, so bring it on. So, okay, talking about Tracy Braxton. She recently passed away, and she passed away from the complications of esophageal cancer. And I just wanted to talk about what's in her chart that points to the esophageal cancer. But to me, the saddest thing about this whole story, at least from my perspective of somebody that's just been a viewer of their reality show over the years, I just find that it's sad that she was the first to go out of the sisters. And it seemed like she was always kind of isolated from the sisters. Like she was always kind of like pushed to the back. She just didn't seem like she was on par with the other ones. And when I say on par, I don't mean as good as the other one. I don't mean it in that way. But some of y'all feel where I'm coming from with this? It seemed like she was always kind of like either like the black sheep of the family, or she just wasn't fully integrated in the whole sisterhood that the other ones had. Denise said she didn't fit in with them. Yeah. Problem Faith said she was always isolated from her sisters. Yeah. And to me, that's what hits the hardest with her dying. Because I'm like, damn. Why she have to go first? That's typical considering it seemed like the relationship she had with her sisters. Yeah. Siobhan said she was the more Uranian sister. Yeah, the one that, wanted to kind of rebel and not fall in line with everything. Yeah, she was treated like the black sheep. Do you think because maybe she was too outspoken? Adrian just calling a spade a spade. She talking about she was an afterthought to them. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. And then when you got to ask yourself, but see, I'm going in the wrong direction by asking this, but then you want to sometimes be like, did they do everything they could have did? you know, because it's Tracy, was she an afterthought when it came to seeing her in the hospital, or and all that type of stuff, hospice and all that? Let me stop. But people tend to come together during times of crisis like this. But yeah, it does seem like she was not fully integrated in their life. Let me pull up her chart because I can also look and see if there was anything going on in her chart dealing with her sisters like that. All right, Tracy Braxton. Now, I don't know what time she was born, but she does have Mercury at the 0 degree of Taurus. And Taurus is a sign of favoritism. So with Mercury at the 0 degree of Taurus, she might have felt like all of her siblings, because don't they also have a brother that really don't want nothing to do with the family? She might have felt like all of her siblings were favored over her. And when we talk about the isolation, she did have Mercury, quincunx, Neptune, and Jupiter. She could have felt like she was on the outside more so. Now, this same quincunx, Mercury, quincunx, Neptune, and Jupiter in Sagittarius is responsible for the esophageal cancer of the esophagus, because Taurus rules the esophagus, and that Jupiter Neptune conjunction in Sagittarius can manifest as growths, tumors. If any of my astrology students are in here, you'll know what I'm talking about with that Sagittarius influence producing cancer in some cases. Then she had Mercury, quincunx, Pluto, and Virgo. Maybe they removed some of the tumors, or she had throat surgery or esophagus surgery at some point, but it still proved to be unsuccessful. But she also has that North Node in Aquarius and a square in Saturn, and that can produce issues with her esophagus too, especially in terms of an abnormality, but also that could point to radiation treatments, but where it was unsuccessful. But with that North Node in Aquarius, she's definitely dealing with some alienation, and with a square in her Saturn, she might have took it the hardest when it came to dealing with her father. Remember, her father was cheating or whatever, and he left the family or something like that. Oh, so she was daddy's girl? So that can explain that separation from her father and how she took it the hardest. She did always have that voice issue. Like, her voice was always gruffy. So she was daddy's little girl? It says, but Tracy did get to sing with her sisters, and she was able to release 2 albums, so she got her shine, especially with being on the show. Yeah, most definitely. Siobhan said she did take it hard, but stayed close with him through it. Okay. Okay. Looked like she had some money problems too. So I wouldn't be surprised if she had to borrow some money from Tony or Tamar at some point, especially with Mercury being at the 0 degree of Taurus. There could be some jealousy going on, and also some issues with financial support amongst her siblings. That could have been an issue. Was she married at the time that she passed? That song Last Call was everything. Her octaves were better than Tony. Interesting. And it's interesting that that song was called Last Call. Interesting. She had moon opposition Mars in Capricorn. So that's like her siding with her father over her mother. So did Evelyn have a problem with Tracy being so close to her dad? Remember what I told you about Mars and Capricorn? That can produce, serious issues with the father, even if it's like you really love your father, but maybe you can't be with him or, whatever. But that moon opposition Mars, that can deal with, number one, the father leaving the home and the father basically doing something that goes against the mother. But then that can also deal with where she sided with her father over her mother. And maybe that created a lot of strife between her and her mother. Oh, I could tell Tawanda is a Virgo. That's why I don't really like her much. So they were married for almost 25 years. And then what was it? The father, he cheated. He had somebody on the side. Kawhi said their mother was pushy and control. So she was shunned by her mother overall. Okay. She was the only one married. Yes, she had a baby young with her husband and stayed in Maryland instead. Okay. So she was like more of the down to earth one, or well, I can't say that because other ones created, families and stuff. But Tawanda does seem fake. She seemed like somebody you do not want to tell your business to. Cherry Bell, you got moon opposition Mars too. Hey, Cherry Bell. And Evelyn's a Capricorn. She was controlling. You could tell though. But who else do we want to get into? But y'all basically get what I'm saying about that Taurus energy, Taurus ruling the esophagus. And then she had that quincunx involving Neptune and Jupiter and Sagittarius, which can deal with growths, tumors that are accumulating in the esophagus. All right. And then I think I got a couple of more stories. What's going on with Kanye West? Somebody give me the short end of it. Like, just give me a brief synopsis. I know he had words with that dude, that one that looks all sickly. What's his name? Kim Kardashian's new boyfriend. I want to pull up a picture of him because he looks sickly as hell. Like, he looked like he hasn't seen sunlight in a few years, and it looked like he hasn't ate a decent meal in weeks. His name is Pete. Pete what? Pete Davidson. Let me pull up a picture of this dude. Because I'm like, there is nothing cute about this little scrawny rat. And trust me, I am not siding with Kanye, but I'm just like, he got that heroin look. That's what he got. What's up with the dark circles under his eyes? And ew. And basically he's some type of comedian. He was on why are these all web pages? He's from Saturday Night Live. He's supposed to be some comedian, right? Let me just pull up a picture of him, see what got Kanye's panties in a bunch. Hopefully somebody's telling me what's currently going on, because I don't got time to be reading about Kanye and his baby mama drama. Pete needs some concealer, right? Yes, he does. Oh, he has Crohn's disease. Is that why he looking like that? So you have a crush on this dude? Okay. To each their own. Indigo said, and Lauren, her niece, was like a daughter to her. She took deaf hard as well. Okay. You still talk about Tracy. Meth, PCP, Angel Dust, etc. You name it. You name it. You name it. He does look like a mess. Yeah, something ain't right with his liver. Look like he does have jaundice. Okay, Queen Dara got the teeth. So you said so they are playing get back against each other. Kim is sleeping with Kanye's friend. Pete and Kanye were friends. Oh, so you think Kim is doing this to like retaliate as some vengeful shit to get under Kanye's skin? But I mean, isn't Kanye always going to do something? So Pete was sending texts to Kanye, sending him selfies on Kim's bed, talking about I'm sleeping with your wife. Now, maybe this is just for publicity's sake. It probably is. They're probably joking about Kim's ass, behind the scenes. I wouldn't be surprised. First of all, Kanye's a Gemini at the end of the day, and he can switch sides real easily, especially for media attention. Moonlight Orange said, I think Pete is gay. To be honest, he has lots of Pisces, can be hiding something. Speaking of Pisces season. So Kanye, where are we at with? So we got Kanye tripping once again. But again, I think a lot of this is just for attention, for him to keep his name in the media. And didn't he just put out like a $200 album or something? Like you got to pay like $200 to be able to play his album. Look at those lips. That look like an overused anus. I don't know how Kim could kiss those lips. That's just nasty. And I know he was in that car accident, but there's no excuse for those lips. Like, I know them lips didn't get damaged like that much. So I'm like, how he get a set of lips like that? You've been doing a lot of puckering. Looking like some dry beef. Kanye got that Diddy fit. Yeah, why they both got that pucker like that? Them dry ass lips. I just can't with this dude. He is a walking joke. Let me pull up his chart so I can remind myself what type of madness this fool is made of. Cause he sure likes drama. He loves the drama. He can't leave it alone. He's the cause of all this. Oh, that's right. It is Pisces season. He got moon in Pisces, so that's part of the reason why he's acting up real hard. Crying a lot. He got sun square moon. That's an aspect of arrested development. That's an aspect where he don't know whether he's coming or going. He don't know what he wants to do. He want to laugh 1 minute, cry the next. He got something to say, but in the process of him putting himself out there in the media, he humiliates himself. That's his sun in Gemini squaring that Pisces moon. He is a hot mess. That can cause somebody to be, a little off kilter. Not everybody, but especially that mutable square between the sun and moon. And then when you add into the fact that he got sun conjunct Jupiter with his egomaniacal self, like that can easily produce an egomaniac when Jupiter and the sun are in Gemini like that. He can't stay out of the media. If he loses some media time, he's going to start to shrivel up like an old dead rose. Somebody bringing up his mom. He said he was lost without his mom until his kids came. Yeah, it's like his mom was his anchor, and now he using his kids as an anchor, but it's not really his kids, it's Kim. That's that moon in Pisces. That's the anchor. That's keeping him from just floating off and just losing it. So by him stirring up this drama with Kim, it's like keeping him anchored into something, anchored down by something, or he's liable to just go crazy. Jay-Z was his anchor at one time too, but he fucked that up. He is some type of person that needs some supervision. maybe not daily, but you need to check in on his ass from time to time. I'll say you need to do like weekly visits with him, weekly follow-ups with him to make sure he's not going to go over the edge or he's not going to say some stupid stuff and play himself. He's another one with that Venus Chiron conjunction. Kimmy say he really needs to stop harassing Kim, but his harassment of Kim, that's part of his anchor. He needs something to hold on to. He needs something to keep him from going totally overboard, over the edge. Because somebody with Sun conjunct Jupiter in Gemini, trust me, when they're alone at night, all types of thoughts are running through their head. And they're liable to do any type of crazy shit if it comes to mind. So that's why they need some type of anchor. Music was his anchor too. So him being in the studio all the time, being able to, really utilize all of that mental energy he got going, that music acted as an anchor too. And it's all dealing with that moon in Pisces. But if he's not making music, especially if he ain't making hits, and he does have that Saturn in Leo, which can make him have the hardened ego and where he has a hard time with not getting attention, especially with the Saturn square and Uranus like that. He has a hard time dealing with not having any fans, but he's the type that will lose fans over doing some egomaniac type shit, some stupid shit. Also, that points to him being separated from his kids and him just having a hard time with the whole custody thing and all that. He got Mars conjunct Venus, which can make him lean on the narcissistic end, and where it has to be his way or the highway. But he found out he got with the wrong chick dealing with Kim Kardashian, because she's somebody that's, he's not used to contending with somebody like her. He could deal with Amber Rose on that level, but now that he got kids with Kim Kardashian, he can't be that type where it's just all about what he dictates and what he says. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for Kim at all. I don't see how she could even lay down with this dude. But hey, like I said, to each his own. All right, next one, and then we'll get into the Pisces stuff. Who else did I want to talk about? Oh, Benzino. Let's talk about him for a minute. I didn't realize Benzino is like 5 foot. Is it 5'3" or 5'4"? I know he's pretty short. Nothing against short men, but some short guys do have what you call the Napoleon complex. And he's not just short, he don't have a neck. Even though it looked like he did get his neck a little elongated right here. Maybe he got a little neck implant or something. But Benzino, Indigo, break down the story real quick. Basically, I did see a video. I saw the video, and he was in the Red Roof Inn, and they was basically trying to kick him out, him and his partner or whatever. They was trying to kick them out because he didn't pay for that next night. Because with these hotel, anything, you got to get down there before checkout time and be like, I'm staying another night. Or you just call down there. It ain't nothing. You just call down to the front desk and be like, I'm staying another night. Add another night to my card or account or whatever. Yeah, he 5'3". So imagine being 5'3". You got a face like a bulldog and you don't have no damn neck. I'd be walking around mad all the time too. Life ain't fair. Some of the hands we're dealt are like poor hands. Now, I believe his claim to fame is being he's a co-founder of the Source magazine, but then he was on Love and Hip Hop or something with Althea or whoever his baby mama is, and he had some kids on there and all that type of stuff. So That's how he was able to get put back on the map. That's how he was able to get some relevancy and all that for the past several years. But obviously, well, I'm not going to say obviously, but maybe he is not doing too well financially with having to stay at the Red Roof Inn. So basically, he got caught getting kicked out of a Red Roof Inn with another man. He was ranting and saying if he was a white couple, the cops wouldn't be messing with them. Yeah, I didn't like how he threw that race card up in there. I'm like, dude, you just didn't book another night. That's all. They do that to everybody. You thought because you're Benzino, they was about to be like, oh, I know he got it. Oh, I know he'll be all right for another night. Nah, y'all was trying to stay in that room hoping that they wouldn't do the check. They always do the check. Housekeeping knocked on the door probably about like 10 times. Then they went down, told the front desk. Next thing you know, they're like, oh, you got to go. Now, I don't know if people are trying to speculate if the man is gay or not, but I'm going to look at his chart and see. You said, Google. Oh, yeah, we could. Let me try to get a clip of that video with Benzino. Indigo, I subscribed to your channel, but why did I see it on your channel? Like I didn't get it in my subscriptions. I know you posted it in the Discord. Oh, here you go. If you don't mind, I'm gonna play. Oh, can I? Where you at, Indigo? Can I play your video? Not all of it, but just a little bit. Indigo said, "I don't think they was fucking, but they definitely up to something. Might have been some type of drug deal or whatever." Indigo, can I play your video? Just a little clip. Queen Dara D said, I will always drag his no neck having fake jewelry wearing Red Roof and staying ass forever. I found it though. It's right here. Hold on. Is he gay or hit rock bottom? All right, let's see.
See, I'm gonna go downstairs. He has my credit card. We're staying another night. That guy's crazy, man. It's nuts. So checking out. It's not even a big thing. He's wasting your time. He ain't did no fucking crime or nothing, man. Motherfucker's crazy. Came in here banging on the door. The Spanish guy came. Yes, amigo. I'm staying another night. We go downstairs. I'm in the shower. What the fuck does he want me to do, man?
All right, sir.
Crazy, so we're leaving.
Is there anything else in this room?
He's in the shower. You want to go talk to him?
In the state of Georgia, please do. If someone doesn't
That's fine.
want your business,
That's all right, because we're going to take this over his head to Red Roof and the management.
That's
If he was white, you can best believe none of this would be happening. This wouldn't be happening at all. If he was a white couple, John and Bill Summerfield, this would not be happening.
Rapper and reality star Benzino is trending the blogs again after a video surfaced of he and a male companion identified as Carrario was kicked out of a CD3-star motel in Brookhaven, Georgia. Benzino, who was born Raymond Leon Scott, is an American urban media proprietor, television personality, rapper, boxer, bodybuilder, record producer, and co-owner of the magazine The Source. He is most known for his 2000 hit Rock the Party. He appeared on the reality television show Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and season 6 of the television show Marriage Boot Camp with his then fiance and current baby mother, Athea Hart. Unfortunately for Benzino, he hasn't had the best of luck over the last decade. He will occasionally get into heated exchange with former cast members of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. He got into a coke-induced brawl with former best friend Stevie J and Jocelyn Hernandez.
What? Don't do that with all these securities. Don't do that with all these securities. Just do that out there.
And we do it right now. We can do it right now. Let's do it now. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Also, Benzino would get in a verbal exchange with Mimi Faust in which she suggested that he was a cokehead and likes trans women. His baby mother, Athea Hart, also suggested the same sentiments. On March 29, 2014, Benzino was shot in the shoulders and back by his own nephew, Gail Scott. The shooting took place in the town of Dewberry, Massachusetts, at his mother's funeral. On April 16, 2019, Benzino was stopped by Brookhaven, Georgia police officer after failed to stop at a stop sign in a silver Acura. The officer found the vehicle with no insurance as the policyholder of the insurance, who was not Benzino, had failed to renew the policy with Geico. The vehicle was towed and Benzino was cited for driving an uninsured vehicle.
How you doing, sir?
I live like this.
Oh, okay. How's your day going?
Not bad.
It's good.
Talking too much.
I understand. But you know I'm pulling you over, right? You've come to a police stop on that stop sign.
I thought I paused enough, but if I didn't,
I just kept seeing you roll. That's okay. Sometimes we don't realize we think we're doing something. Is this vehicle in your name?
yes. Raymond Scott, and also it's co-signed by Dow.
Del Brown. Okay. Did you guys just make a transit?
Damn, this is 40 minutes long. You get deep into this shit. I saw the other clip before where he was at the other hotel. Yeah. Let me skip forward. With his no neck self. Now he's too old to be acting like this. Wasn't he born in 1965?
Multiple racial slurs and maternal insults.
I've been cool. I've been cool with you. What's your question?
Yo, first of all, what is the fucking ticket for? Tell me that.
He will let you know in a minute. Do you have a question?
That's the question.
Okay, he'll let you know. Chill out.
Chill out for what? I'm in the fucking back
Sir,
of the office. Some bullshit.
you have a warrant that has been confirmed.
This is some
All right?
crazy shit, man. All right, you don't have to let me out. Let me out.
Yeah, she's trying to calm you down.
Let me out. Oh, I got you. It's a warning. You fucked up, bitch. Fuck that bitch. You fucked up. Yeah. Don't look at me, bitch. You fucked up. I'm suing you, bitch. You stupid bitch. Suck my dick.
Okay.
I can't believe you arrested me for a warrant. You stupid. You slanty-eyed.
Didn't he pee in the cop car or something?
Oh my God, I'm suing you. You stupid. You pulled me up for no reason, and then it's not a warrant. It's a warning.
He looked like one of them red pit bulls.
He gave me a warning. I never had to go to court. You stupid. I got you, Jackie Chan.
On July 13, 2020, Benzino had yet another run-in with the police at his Brookhaven apartment complex. Apparently, Benzino hadn't paid his rent since March and thought he should not have to pay rent due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He also suggested racism is behind his eviction.
No, he didn't try that rent. What is that called? The eviction moratorium. He really tried it, huh? But what was I saying? Didn't he pee in a cop car? He peed on himself in the cop car. Right? No, for real. Didn't he look like a red pit bull in the backseat of that cop car? All right, let me finish. Hold on.
What's up, man? How you doing? Pretty good.
I told him I would happily email him my supervisor's code.
Okay, first of all, she's the most condescending person.
Wait a second, Freedom, sir. You want to sit out here? We talk out here?
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
She is the most condescending, rude person for the last 2 years I'm working here. I mean, I've been building it. She screams and she talks to people in a very condescending manner. Okay, I've been dealing with it for a long time. All right, she just can't talk to me anyway.
I'm sorry, I just got. When you looking like that, you need to be on your best behavior. You already look like some type of Neanderthal ape that just came out of like 650 BC shit. Like, come on now. And you acting ape shit in the place. I'm just like, dude. And again, he too old to be acting like this.
She doesn't own this place. I'm a tenant and I pay rent here. Okay, so when I come in here to ask for information, she starts yelling at me. And then, I mean, this has been going on for a while. Nobody likes her. So as soon as somebody gives her back what she gives, then she calls police. Black Lives Matter. She's just not going to think that I'm just some criminal. I live here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be abused and I'm not going to be disrespected by anybody. Like, I didn't come here. Ashley knows me. They know me. I don't start problems with nobody. But because Lindsay's a little white lady and she calls, and I'm the black guy with tattoos, then that's the thing. This is the thing we got going here. No.
All right. What do you want? Okay.
I want her. I need her. She never emailed me.
He the type that will have a heart attack in the middle of one of his bitch fits. You wait, watch and see. He that type. He either gonna have a heart attack or a brain aneurysm one day when he popping off on somebody. I can already see it happen. The man don't look like he's in good health.
Her manager's number, supervisor's number. I want to talk to them, and I need to complain about her. And she's not giving me the information I want.
So does she have the email address?
Yes, and I haven't got it yet.
Okay,
I've been asking for the last 2 hours.
Let me see where she at, and then with email, so we can get your information, all right? Listen, first of all, don't let that guy get you. Okay? It's not worth it. Seriously. I know it's tough, but listen, don't let him get you. Okay? All right? Understand something. Obviously, whatever he got going on, he's in desperation mode. But listen, no. He's in desperation mode, okay? All right? He knows he's been on an eviction process, all right? Don't let him get you upset. It's not worth it, okay? I asked him what he want from you. He says about an email from
He just asked for it 10 minutes.
Okay, so we just sent it. Okay, I'll make sure he has that, and then we're done here. Okay, now listen. This guy, he knows he's about to.
Yup, he at 18, so it's common for him to get into these little squabbles with people. But yeah, if he don't calm the fuck down with his troll looking ass, I could see him having some type of heart attack, aneurysm, like Indigo said, stroke, something. Somebody else said bust a vein in his neck. I mean, he is just wild out. But again, I feel like it's all this pent up aggression from being teased when he was young, people pushing him around. He probably got bullied all the time. And now that he's a grown man, it's like now he feels like he has to overcompensate. But I'm like, looking like that, why would you be predictable? You look like somebody that has a chip on your shoulder, your high ass shoulder, because we can't see no neck. So shoulders chin length. We're at the chin. I mean, you typical. So let me look at his chart. I'm like, why be so predictable, Benzino? Like, he's the type that should be a nice guy, and then people would be surprised. They'd be like, yo, he's actually a nice dude. Like, when people get to talk, you know how when you want to insult somebody, right? And you might talk about, like, Benzino, for instance, you might be like, yo, he don't got no neck. But then somebody will come along, if he's a good ass dude, and be like, but yo, he's a really cool dude. Yo, he's real nice. And that kind of subtracts from the insult, from the deficiency that the person's dealing with. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if you have some type of physical defect, why would you exacerbate the problem by being an asshole? Be a nice person, because then people going to rush to your defense when somebody comes along and be like, yo, he don't have no neck. You no neck motherfucker. But then people be like, but he is nice. Yo, he cool as shit. Don't talk about him like that. He don't even have the wherewithal mentally to like work that out in his fat ass head, that pit bull head. for him to be like, yo, I need to be a nice guy because then things will go easier for me in life. You already been dealt a bad hand in terms of the physical features. Why make it worse by being an asshole? But you know, some people just are the way they are. Like if I look like that, I wouldn't give nobody a reason to hate me. People be loving the shit out of me. I'd be making it rain on everybody if I look like that, because that's the tax you gotta pay. That's the ugly tax you gotta pay to play up in this world. I hate to say it, but this world is very unfair. And if he, wait a minute, what he got in Pisces? Somebody said he had a lot in Pisces. Oh yeah, that Pisces stellium. See, he don't want to play by the rules. He don't want to pay that ugly tax. He wants the special treatment, even though he looked like a troll. We living in the real world, but you know, Pisces sometimes have a problem with living in the real world, dealing with reality, dealing with the harsh realities of life. He wanted to be 6'2", muscle bound, have this, you know, look like Albie Shore or whatever. Even though Albie Shore, he was never my cup of tea. I don't see what y'all women was looking at with Albie Shore. He always had too big of a butt and too wide hips for my taste. Albie Shore was too much on the thick end for me. But you get what I'm saying when I say Albie Shore, in terms of that's what Benzino wanted to be. And because he wasn't dealt that hand on a physical level, you know, he got to walk around with this chip on his shoulder. But like I said, it's not a good look. Your life would be so much easier if you was a nice dude, but you're not. Even with that Pisces moon, because that moon is conjoined to Chiron. First of all, I already know with his moon being sandwiched between Chiron and Saturn in Pisces, he's done dealt with some heavy humiliation in his life. He suffers from a serious inferiority complex, especially with that moon and Saturn opposing Uranus and Pluto. That's him not feeling like he fits in. He hanging with the dudes on the street, still feeling like he don't fit in. It don't even matter if he was co-founder of the Source magazine, all that. You know, with that, he was working behind the scenes. So, you know, it wasn't as bad. But he messed up when he put himself out there with that reality show, because I know he was probably reading a lot of shit about what people were saying about his no-neck ass. And he does have Venus square Neptune. And that takes away from his neck. That's why we can't see his neck. That Venus square Neptune. And he got Venus conjoined Mercury and Leo. He really needs validation from people. But that can make him very much about being combative, because of his ego gets in the way. He was mad because he couldn't get the girls in high school. He got the Gemini North Node, squaring Pluto, squaring Uranus. That's like heavy bullying in school, that Uranus square that Gemini North Node. Then he got Mars in Libra, so he's busy comparing himself to others all the time, which doesn't help. But his Mars is in good shape. He got Mars trine North Node in Gemini. That's him being co-founder of the Source magazine right there. So you would think he could just rest on those laurels, but no, not with that Venus conjoined to Mercury and Leo. He need a lot of attention. He need a lot of validation, but he's constantly being humiliated. He got Venus square Neptune in Scorpio. He could have some serious money issues. He could owe people. He better be careful. And then the boot, he's a crybaby Cancer. That moon in Pisces can be it can be a recipe for homelessness. Not saying that he's homeless now, but he could end up, in that moon opposition Pluto, that's him being thrown out of the hotel or the motel or whatever, and him being evicted. Might have had a home that was foreclosed on at some point. But yeah, he's the type that will get thrown out on his ass for not paying for shit. And he's the type that also expects some special treatment with that Pisces energy. He got the moon and Saturn square his nodes. He got it bad. So there is a chance that he will suffer a heart attack. especially with Venus and Mercury in Leo squaring that Neptune. He probably already got heart problems. He probably got arrhythmia or something. Like when you got that Neptune influence affecting the heart, it's like at times your heart could get real weak. Like while he's asleep, he probably got sleep apnea. Matter of fact, I'm like, I would almost be positive because he don't have no fucking neck. So this dude got sleep apnea, but you popping off at people, he gonna wake up dead one day. I don't mean to say it like that, but like, come on, dude. Like, you need to worry about your damn health. Yes, 18 is a very challenging number. It's a number of conflict. It's a number of being egotistical, being narcissistic. You always get into beefs with people. It can produce problems with your living situation, problems with your family, problems with your mom. Oh, let's look at the Mercury with the cousin, or you said it was the nephew. Well, that's that Mercury square Neptune. That's like a sneak attack. So he didn't even see it coming with the Neptune influence being in Scorpio. Like his cousin, well, I keep saying cousin, his nephew really tried to kill his ass. But that's the stabbing right there. I wonder what he did. Do you know what he did to the nephew? But yeah, he got it bad. He got it bad. He got the short man's complex. Damn, Benzino. But like I said, I'm seeing where he could be dealing with some serious health issues if he's not careful. Even with this Pisces stellium opposing Uranus and Pluto, that could produce issues dealing with his sleep too. Like he really could die in his sleep if he's not careful. Maybe that's why he had a dude babysitting him at the hotel and they was taking showers together and all that stuff. Maybe that's what's really going on. But yeah. Do y'all think that he was messing around with this dude? Like sexually? Well, I could say with that Mars and Libra trine, Gemini North Node, he could go both ways. But I don't really see that being his cup of tea, though. I could see him knocking a dude out for coming on to him. Now, that doesn't say that he has issues with his own manhood, but I don't think that they was in that room together getting it on. I don't really see it. But yeah, he got the poor Benzino. But anyway, let's move on. And I think I got one more current event before I get into this Pisces live stream. Let me see. I would talk about Brittany Griner, but a lot of people probably don't know who she is, right? Did y'all hear about that one chick though? Let me pull up a picture of her. This picture is kind of, I'm warning y'all, this picture is kind of graphic. But I just want to show y'all like what can happen, the consequences of not taking your chart seriously. But I doubt she was aware of what was in her chart. She probably never even had a chart reading. But I'll just say, I'm pretty sure she has some instincts and she has some intuitive ability going on. But this is basically the consequences of not trusting your instincts and not knowing what you're doing. I'll say. Again, I'm warning y'all, this is a graphic image, but this story was recently out and it did break my heart because I got this beef with dogs. Her name is Jacqueline. What's her name? What's her last name? Jacqueline. Where are you at? Jacqueline Durand. And she was attacked by a dog last year. No, I think it was 2 dogs she was attacked by. And now she's left permanently disfigured. Like they went for her face. They tried to kill this woman. And guess what? She was a dog sitter. And she's still talking about she want to help animals and she want to continue to work with dogs and be a dog trainer. I'm like, go ahead and let them finish you off. Now, some dogs aren't dangerous, but you got plenty of dogs out here that are. And I just don't understand why people would want to own some of these more dangerous dogs. First of all, look at that interviewer. Why it look like he wearing a Star Trek costume? I couldn't help it. When I was looking at this interview, you see this dude to the left? Why does that look like the Star Trek costume? Anyway, I couldn't help it. But this chick, she don't have nothing in Virgo. Makes me think she's a Virgo rising. But with the arbitrary time I chose, Virgo did end up being on the midheaven. So that could be Virgo in the midheaven too. Because that could deal with her working with dogs, being a dog sitter as profession. But yeah, she got her face chewed off by some demon dogs, because I believe in demonic possession, and I believe demons like to get inside of dogs, especially those vicious dogs like pit bulls and cane corsos and rottweilers and some German shepherds. Some of these dogs are straight up demons out here, and because we're dealing with the Scorpio South Node, and this happened just as the South Node was entering Scorpio, and I did want to talk about the Scorpio South Node transit. So last year, last December, just as that South Node was in Scorpio, it was at the 29th degree of Scorpio, 2 dogs attacked this girl. And I'm telling you, with this transit of the Scorpio South Node, we're going to start seeing more and more demonic activity, and you're going to start to see it coming out through dogs and other animals, but especially dogs, because for some reason, demons like to get inside of dogs. I guess because dogs are very suggestive. What would you say that they're very much about auto-suggestion, or they're very suggestible? Like you could get a dog to do a lot of things. They're basically very submissive creatures when someone is in control of them. So what better way to wreak havoc upon this earth but to get inside some dogs? But you also see it with people too. Crime is on the rise, and some of the worst types of crimes. I don't know if y'all heard about that dude that shot up the butts, also the feces dude. There's been so many crazy stories recently, stabbings, the woman that worked at Burger King that killed her coworker. People are getting murdered on the job, y'all. Y'all can't even like work anymore. You can't go to Burger King or McDonald's no more. They shooting up everybody. All of this is that Scorpio South Node is going to get worse. Demons are going up inside of people and causing people to do stuff to the extreme, stuff they wouldn't do on a regular basis. Now, I want y'all to take this into consideration too. I'm going to talk about her chart a little bit, but since I'm on the Scorpio South Node transit, I want y'all to take this into consideration too. And this has a lot to do with Neptune and Pisces, which I'm going to get into too. With Neptune and Pisces combined with that Scorpio South Node, what we're really encroaching upon, what we're really about to see is the zombie apocalypse in full effect. If you remember, the CDC even had a document online that talked about how to prepare for the zombie apocalypse. See, they have y'all thinking that the zombie apocalypse is going to be where these real monstrous looking people that look like the Hollywood zombies are on the prowl, and that they're eating flesh and stuff, and they're limping around with one eye and the other eye just on their cheek, just hanging there. You know, that grotesque shit. No, the real zombie apocalypse is here. And these demons are getting inside people. Some of it's happening through drug use and alcohol. Others, it's just happening where some demons are just getting inside people. Or you could say demons that are already inside some of these people are becoming awakened. They're becoming empowered. They're becoming emboldened. And we got to be careful out here. They always say this ain't a material battle. It's a spiritual battle, especially since we're in the age of Aquarius. This is also spiritual shit. Yeah, we're going to see some physical destruction. We're going to see some wars and stuff. But this is really about a spiritual thing. This is basically the evils that be. They want us to be afraid. They want us to be so afraid that we ask for a solution. They want us to be so afraid that we lock ourselves into a house. They want us to lock ourselves down. They don't want to have to do it by force. They want us to do it to ourselves. And they've already conditioned us with the scandemic and all that type of stuff. But what is real, though, is these demons that are acting out through people. And again, you got to be careful, especially now, you know, with dating and meeting new people, you just got to be careful. You really got to check them. And there's certain signs that are just going to be more susceptible to this demonic influence. And Pisces happens to be one of those signs. All three of the water signs are just naturally susceptible to demonic influence, demonic possession, demonic attacks, all that type of stuff. So we might see these three water signs acting out as some of the people that are acting out the most. Now, you don't have to have your sun sign in a water sign. You could be a water ascendant. You could be a Scorpio rising, or you could have Venus in Scorpio, or you could have Mercury in Pisces, and some shit gets inside of you. Now, I also think it's dealing with the technology that we're dealing with too. Like this 5G technology, I believe that it's creating certain frequencies that are allowing more and more demons to come through, and where it's scrambling people's brains. Like people's minds might be scrambled where they're not thinking straight. And then when you add in the shatas, the big V, that might be contributing to this mass psychosis too. Remember a few months ago, that whole term mass psychosis was in the news. You always know this is on purpose when they start to release news stories. I don't know if y'all heard about the guy that was killing homeless people. I believe that was set up. I don't believe that this was really happening where this random guy was just killing homeless people. No, I feel like this is one of the Manchurian candidates. I feel like some of these killings are people that are under some type of influence. They could be CIA moles. They could be Manchurian candidates, and they're going to be part of the forerunners of all this chaos that we're about to see. Because some of this crime just ain't adding up. And I really think that they got these sleeper cells, these Manchurian candidates, and it could be people that have been in the jail system for a while. Remember when they let out a bunch of prisoners? Right around that beginning of the pandemic, when they let out a bunch of prisoners. How do we know that they weren't experimenting on some of these prisoners, putting some shit in their medication or their food or whatever, so that when they flip a switch, these people will do whatever they tell them to do? This shit is real. They've been programming people for years. Dr. Ken said, yeah, it seems that everybody is mentally ill. I'm telling you, this is by design. Crime is increasing. We're going to see violence at an all-time high. Now, recently, I'm a big history buff. I'm not like some people where I could really quote all these things from history, but I do like to get my history on every now and then. So recently, I've been learning about Joseph Stalin, who was the leader of Russia for like over 3 decades. And if you think Putin is bad, Putin don't have nothing on Stalin. Now, or like they always talk about Hitler, but Joseph Stalin, oh my God, he gave Hitler a run for the money. But oh my God, I'm so fascinated with this story about Joseph Stalin. But anyway, and I might do a reading about him, but I don't know if enough people are into history to really enjoy this reading about Joseph Stalin. But I mean, it's so clear in his chart how he became a psychopath, or basically he was born a psychopath, you could say. But anyway, he said that violence was the answer. He said that violence was how you get results. And I just want y'all to just ponder this. Violence. That's what's going on in this country. Extreme acts of violence, and more violence is taking place. This is by design, because we are in the middle of a war. Like I told y'all before, it's World War III, but it's not where all these bombs are going off. Yeah, there's an actual war going on in the Ukraine right now between Ukraine and Russia. But did you know this shit goes back to Stalin with the Ukraine? This shit ain't nothing new. Russia invaded the Ukraine back during Stalin's rule, and Stalin killed millions of Russians and Ukrainians and starved them to death, and they became cannibals and shit. Like this story is, to me, it's more fascinating than the Holocaust, even though Hitler and the Holocaust is fascinating too. But the story of Stalin is out of this world. But the main reason why I'm bringing it up is because he said violence got results. And that's what's happening in this country. They're trying to turn this country upside down. They're trying to turn it to a socialistic nation. And before they can do that, they have to break down the capitalist system. This is why in California, you could still up to, how much is it? $900 worth of stuff. And you could basically get away with it. This is why they're allowing all this homelessness now. They're allowing all these homeless encampments on the street with some of the worst people that you'll ever, come across. All these assaults, all these shootings happening in stores now, Target, Walmart, fast food joints. Now the city bus, somebody shot, they busted off 21 shots on a bus and killed 3 people, I think, on a bus. And I know there's always been violence and crime, but to me, it's happening much more often. And it's just a sign of the times, and it's a sign of the takeover. They are trying to take over not just this country, but all the countries of the world. And they're doing it in certain ways. With America, it's really coming down to violence and economics. You see how the gas prices are. They want to blame Russia and all this type of stuff. Bullshit. But yeah, they are trying to destroy this nation from within. And that's the essence of the United States Pluto return. But enough about that. Dealing with this girl, Jacqueline Duran, I just wanted to show these squares that basically deal with where she went wrong. And I'm not blaming her for what happened. I'm blaming them dogs and the owners of the dogs. But I'm saying if she would have been more about this placement, she would still have a face. So let me just... Now, it wasn't easy getting her birthday, but the good thing is, well, I shouldn't say the good thing, but the news reports are saying that this attack happened one day before her birthday. And then they gave her age. So I just did the math and I was like, okay, so she must have been born December 24th, 1999. So I do believe this is her chart. And the main thing is, well, there's a few main things. Number one, she's a Capricorn, and Capricorns often got to deal with some hard struggle. And Capricorn rules the skin. So, she's having, of course, skin problems with the dogs ripping off her face. Hey, Il Nana. Now, she got Mars conjoined to Uranus. That right there can deal with a disfigured face, especially because both planets are in Aquarius. That can deal with there's something that, like, her face changed drastically, a drastic change in terms of her face. It can also deal with the destruction of her face. Now, she also has Saturn squaring Uranus and also her South Node. The main thing is Saturn being in Taurus and it's squaring her nodes. That Saturn in Taurus basically taught her a very hard lesson, because Taurus is the sign of safety and security. And I wouldn't be surprised if prior to going over those people's homes, something like hit her, because she's highly intuitive with that Mars in Aquarius. That whole stellium in Aquarius makes her highly intuitive. And then Saturn squaring that South Node in Aquarius, also squaring Uranus, but the Saturn in Taurus, that's safety and security. So I'm thinking that her intuition was popping off and she disregarded her intuition about those dogs. And she went over there anyway, disregarding her need to be safe. Because again, when we're dealing with dogs that are just naturally prone to be aggressive, like a pit bull, and I think it was like a German Shepherd mix, you gotta exercise precautions. You gotta exercise caution. And Taurus is a sign of caution. It's the sign of safety, security. It's the sign of saying, hold up, wait a minute, let me think things through. Something doesn't feel right. But with that Leo North Node, it was like she wanted to be, independent and courageous. And you could have even said she wanted to prove a point that she could be in control of some aggressive dogs or whatever like that. She also had Mars squaring Venus in Scorpio. So that's one of the aspects that deals with her face being destroyed, basically being mauled. Unfortunately, I don't know her birth time because it would be interesting to see where, what's in her sixth house, because the sixth house would be the dogs. And it would also be her being a dog sitter and all that. And as you can see, she doesn't have anything in Virgo, which is another caution, if you ask me. Like, somebody that's going to be a dog trainer, they would at least need some type of planet in Virgo, and she didn't have one. Now, she could be a Virgo rising, and maybe that's why she felt this calling to be a dog trainer or whatever, or a dog sitter, but she doesn't have any planets in Virgo, and that's very concerning as well. With that Sagittarius energy, she's the type that could throw caution to the wind. She got Mercury conjoined to Pluto in Sagittarius. That could represent big attack dogs. Next thing you know, she's getting deep wounds, which is Chiron conjoined to Pluto and Sagittarius. There's a picture where there's blood everywhere in this room, where they basically was attacking her and she was bleeding out. They said she lost like 30% of her blood. That bloodiness is coming from Sagittarius. But yeah, those dogs were out for blood. But Mercury conjoined to Pluto in Sagittarius can represent a big attack dog. So in her mind, she probably believed the hype that people talk about. Oh, this is a big nanny dog. This is a big baby. This dog ain't gonna hurt you. This dog ain't aggressive. Well, they got both of those dogs from the shelter. And that means that they probably didn't know what the dog's past were. They didn't know where the dog was coming from, like if it was a loving family or if it was an aggressive, abusive family. But some of these dogs don't even need that. They could grow up in the nicest home, get the best food, and they'll still attack your ass. But I just wanted to show y'all the issues that could come with not listening to your instincts, not trusting your intuition, not exercising safety and precautions. All right. And enough about that. We're going to get into this Pisces season. So let me pull up the first person. And I feel like she is the grande dame of Pisces. So much so that I'm sick of it. But it's like, because she's a Pisces, it's like, can you really hate her? Because Pisces will have that effect upon you where you want to hate the person, but you can't, because they got that Pisces angelic quality about them. And even though she's done some ratchet things, she still has that Pisces angelic quality to a certain extent. Even though I'm not feeling this outfit right here. But she does have, Pisces is the sign of lingerie. It's the sign of intimate wear, wearing something sheer like this, coming out the house looking like this. While Pisces is not really out there, like that's more on the Aquarius end, in terms of letting your skin all show and stuff. But the lingerie part, that's very Pisces. Being in a nightie, that's very Pisces. Her Savage Fenty line, very Pisces. Her Fenty line, the makeup line, very Pisces. So let me see. She got Mercury in Aquarius, which is why she felt comfortable coming out half naked like that, especially because she's being pregnant. You would think you want to cover up a little bit, but not, when you got some Aquarius energy, she got Mercury in Aquarius, it ain't nothing but a thing. And then don't she got something in Aries too? She got Moon conjunct Venus in Aries, Jupiter in Aries. So yeah, she don't have that sense of shame that comes with Pisces, because Pisces is a sign that rules shame. And Pisces can be quite reserved too in a lot of cases, but all it takes is you to have some Aquarius energies, throw a little Aries up in there, and this is what you have. So I think that's actually tacky to come out looking like that when you got a big old pregnant belly. I'm like, put it away. We know that you're pregnant. You can wear a sweatshirt and some pregnancy mom jeans, and we'll still be able to tell you're pregnant. You don't have to put your belly on display. But see, one of the things I'm going to be doing with Rihanna tonight, because I'm tired of talking about her ass, but one of the things I want to look at is what type of child she could possibly be having. Like, is this child going to be a sweet child, or is this child going to be all like a little devil? Is this child going to be down to earth, or is this child going to be spoiled as hell? Is she going to be going through custody issues, or is everything going to work out fine between her and ASAP Rocky? I also want to talk about what in her chart makes her so blessed. I'll say blessed to the point of being spoiled. Because truth be told, I don't really see Rihanna as having a lot of talent. And I'll say natural talent. The talent that she has basically been, imbued in her. I guess you could say she's been kind of trained to have some type of talent. Somebody said Rosemary's Baby, right? Just might be. She definitely can't sing. I don't think she's much of a dancer. For real, to be a Pisces, she's really lacking on the true artistry end, if you ask me. Now, one thing that Pisces is or can be is spoiled. So I do see her being spoiled. Things just seem to work out in her favor. And when I show you a couple of these aspects, and I was just talking to one of my students tonight about these aspects she got. When I show y'all a couple of these aspects, y'all going to see why she's so spoiled and why it just seems like whatever she touched turned to gold or whatever. And again, we're dealing with somebody who's at the billionaire status. And I think it's mainly due to her Fenty line. Correct me if I'm wrong. Even though I'm sure she's made millions upon millions through her music. But I think she's really, reached that billionaire status through. Oh my God, I'm gonna need a snack after this live stream. I don't even have any root beer. I got cherry Coke, which ain't a bad substitute, but it damn sure ain't root beer. But anyway, oh, I didn't give y'all an update on my recovery. I'm gonna have to give y'all an update too. How much? Okay, so it hasn't even been 2 hours yet. Remind me to give y'all an update on how my recovery's been going. So, looking at her belly made me think of mine, and I don't have that big old bulge anymore. But anyway, what was I saying about Rihanna? She's one of those spoiled Pisces, and she just happened to be born at the right place at the right time, and everything just works out in her favor. Now, she could have issues, I'm sure, like we all do, but I'm just talking about on a material level. Isn't cherry Coke good as shit, Trey? Oh my God. Like, I can't just drink regular Coke. It got to have something extra in there because I'm a Sagittarius. So it either got to be cherry or lime. Have you ever tried lime Coke? Try lime Coke, Trace. Please. You'll be like, and you can only get lime Coke at those fountain where where you can mix the drinks and stuff like that. But yeah, if they got one of those drink dispensers where they can mix it and do the different flavors, I always get the lime Coke. But anyway, let me just pull up her chart because Rihanna got a few aspects that just shows that the table was already set for her and all she had to do was roll out of bed and come get it. If you want it, you can have it. If you need it. She still hasn't been able to work out that big ass forehead though. That's where that Aries comes in. We can make it all right. There's really nothing you can do when you got a big ass forehead. Like the plastic surgeons, they really haven't been able to work that out yet. But maybe they're working on it. Because I don't think you could get like a forehead impectomy or something. Or where you could get some of that removed. But yeah. But I mean, she's still cute nonetheless. I mean, especially with the makeup on. Have you ever seen this child without makeup? She definitely ain't as cute as you'd think she would be. But that's another story. I'm not here to roast this child, especially when she's with child. But I don't even know how far along she is. But anyway, since we have her birth time, it'll be interesting to see what that fifth house is doing in terms of a child. But let's talk about what makes her so successful and rich, some of the elements. So she has that Pisces sun, which can result in being, spoiled in some ways. sometimes the Pisces energy can result in being the chosen one, or where you're the one that's given the special treatment. She has Sun, Sextile, Saturn, and Uranus, and they're both at the 0 degree of Capricorn. That's the Aries point of Capricorn. That's basically like there's this machine behind you that makes you who you are. There's this machine behind you that turns you into a star. Like there's like some magic dust, and it'd be like ching ching, and like they just wave the magic wand, and then puff, you got Rihanna, this superstar. Now she got her own product line, like the cosmetics and the fragrance, and now she got the clothing line and all this type of stuff, and everybody's buying her shit. She also has Sun, Sextile, Mars, which can represent a man that helped her to come up. And it makes me think of Jay-Z, especially because Mars is in Sagittarius. Jay-Z is a Sagittarius. Sometimes these aspects can be taken literally in that respect. So having a man that helps her come up in the game basically makes her what she is. You know, that whole good girl going bad is very much dealing with that Sun, Sextile, Mars, but also that Sun, Sextile, Saturn, and Uranus. She got this machine behind her that basically created her image, all that type of stuff. But the same aspects points to her successful Fenty online store. Oh, so I was just asking about that. So now she's opened storefronts, brick and mortars. Okay, because I was just asking, because I was like, I know her Fenty lines in Sephora and probably Ulta, but I didn't know if she had her own brick and mortar stores. But this part right here, Saturn conjunct Uranus, that could be an online business. And then Sextile Sun in Pisces, that could be cosmetics, but it can also be lingerie, pajamas, all that stuff, bedtime gear. Because I think Savage Fenty mostly specializes in like lingerie and like bedwear and stuff, right? Yeah. So she's had some blessings. She also has Mars trine Jupiter. And that again could deal with some man that has come into her life that has helped her to grow, that has raised her up, helped her to basically expand her horizons. So again, I see that as Jay-Z's influence. That definitely ain't ASAP Rocky, that Mars trine Jupiter, because you would have to say he's of a lower status than she is. Now it could represent ASAP Rocky in terms of the way he looks, so to speak, but that's more so dealing with her having kind of like a benefactor or a guy that basically raised her up or made her grow, helps her to rise up. Moon conjunct Venus in Aries, that's basically representing how she's become a household name and how her branding, her name brand is basically getting very big. But she does have Moon square Neptune. So some issues with her family. Maybe her family, some people in her family were out to exploit her or use her at some point. She also has Venus square Neptune, which can produce challenges with marriage. It could deal with a partner that is cheating, a partner that has a addiction. And I know ASAP Rocky is big time into drugs, not just the weed, but he likes to be on that lean too. And you said, I said ASAP is one of the girls, right? Venus square Neptune can produce a lover or a relationship partner, spouse that is dishonest. They could have a problem with addiction. They could be sneaky, could be unfaithful. So don't expect things to be all roses in Rihanna's life, even though she's made of all this money at this point. She also has, let me see what else. Mercury is in sextile with Venus and the moon. Makes me think of she has a team of writers. That could be a team of writers for her music. But let's look at this child situation. So she has Leo on the 5th house cusp, the 8th degree of Leo at that. That 8th degree can deal with some issue with discipline involving a child. It can also deal with an issue with the child's father. So the child's father being a major theme with the 8th degree of Leo on the 5th house cusp. We also need to throw discipline in there. Like I said, we can also throw in there being alone. Maybe this child is going to be left alone a lot. I wouldn't be surprised with the sun being in Pisces ruling that 5th house. But the child could also be very spoiled with the sun in Pisces ruling that 5th house. That sun being in the 11th house is privilege. So that child could be very spoiled, very privileged. Basically, the child is probably going to be able to do whatever the hell the child wants to do. She doesn't seem like the type that would be very good with discipline anyway. So also that 11th house sun dealing with her child could be a child that is rebellious, but it can also deal with a child that has some special issue, especially with the sun being in Pisces. So the child could be born with some type of sickness or some type of illness, or it could develop one later on at some point. But isolation, of course, being a theme of Pisces, that's what the child could feel like growing up. Remember, I told you about being extra rich and that being like part of Pisces. And next thing you know, as a very rich person, you're feeling isolated. Well, here's the theme with respect to Rihanna's child. That child's going to feel isolated, and naturally so, because Rihanna is loaded. She has a ton of money. So, of course, she's not going to want her child out there all the time. She might even hide the child's face. Maybe in the first few weeks or the first few months, like she might be taking pictures with the child, but the child like just facing her. And the reason why I say that is her son is in semi-square with her Aries ascendant. So she might not be too keen on letting people take pictures of her child when she first, gives birth, or maybe even months after. There was some celebrities are like that, where they're not. Wait, wasn't Beyonce like that with the twins? Didn't Beyonce kind of hide the twins' face for a minute? Y'all let me know if that's the case. Now, she doesn't have it too bad because, again, Sun, sextile, Saturn, and Uranus, this is also dealing with her child. So her child might have some special abilities. Child might end up working or following in her Rihanna's footsteps. That makes me think, boy. Do we know what she's having? Is she having a boy? Diana says she won't show the baby, so everyone is excited. So does it? So yeah, Bay had hid the twins. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she was doing that hiding stuff too. Let me see what else I can see going on. So Sun, sextile, Saturn conjoined to Uranus. Again, that's like a child that is already at some high status, and child could be surrounded by top-notch security with that Capricorn influence. And also that's just dealing with the child's father as well. Oh, so she's having a girl. Maybe it's going to be a trans girl. Diana said, I'm feeling a boy. She was shopping at Target for baby dresses, but I feel a boy. Oh, what if she was... Queen said, I feel like she has twins, boy and a girl each. Well, I'll tell you this. If it's a boy, more than likely that boy is going to end up being gay. Simply due to that 11th house Pisces sun, and it forming a semi-square with the Aries ascendant. So if she's having a girl, the girl could have issues too. So she could be more so on a tomboyish level. That child going to be confused regardless. I feel like she is going to have one of those gender confused children. But a lot of people are promoting that nowadays. Moonlight Orange said, I say, girl, she wore a pink jacket for her photo shoot. Well, with these celebrities, we can't be sure what the gender is going to be with these children. That baby could come out a girl, but in 20 years, we could be talking about a boy, just like Chaz Bono. Does Rihanna have issues with her vocal cords? Well, she does have Venus and Aries. It's making a quincunx with Pluto, which can produce issues with her vocal cords. She could be straining them too much, and next thing you know, she needs surgery. She might have already had surgery on her vocal cords before. Has she like burned out her vocal cords, Andre? Willow Smith from and that Sun in Pisces ruling the fifth can be a child that is confused. Now let's see what else. Well, other than that, I don't really see that child going through many, serious problems. Amira said, hopefully the child can be happy and loved regardless of their gender. That's what I see happening. I see that child pretty much having a good life, being very spoiled, getting that instant recognition because of who her mother and father is, being like, one of those children that they like, kind of like how Blue Ivy is. It seemed like Blue Ivy, even though she grew up, well, I don't know what's going on with her now. She might be hell on wheels in a couple of years. But it seemed like Blue Ivy has been able to live in the lap of luxury without being too, messed up. Queen Dara said she canceled her Grammy performances in 2016 due to the vocal. Okay. So yeah, makes sense. That's because she wasn't meant to be a singer. That's what I mean. Like, she had this machine behind her that was carefully crafting her image. And I don't believe that she really is supposed to be a singer in this lifetime. But that was part of her destiny. That was part of her role that she had to fulfill. I mean, it does fulfill that Pisces North Node, Sun in Pisces. But let's be real. And I mean, also in her defense, there's plenty of real singers out there that have problems with their vocal cords. Mariah Carey, for one. I think Eva Shaka had an issue with her vocal cords at some point. So yeah, they can just burn them out from overuse. But again, I really don't see Rihanna really having what it takes to be this really good singer. But she does have Venus sextile Mercury, so I would say she can hit those, she has somewhat of a vocal range, I guess you could say. All right, moving on to the next Pisces. And while I'm pulling up the picture, I'm going to just run down some of what makes Pisces so great. So, you got, with Pisces, you could basically say, because it's the two fishes, we can call one of the fishes the saint. We could call the other fish the sinner. So on the saintly end, when it comes to Pisces, Pisces can be selfless, charitable. And as I go through these positive traits, of course, this doesn't mean that all Pisces will be displaying these traits. I'm talking about Pisces just in general of what it can manifest as on the positive end, on the saintly end. So selfless, charitable, can be very caring, compassionate, empathetic, which is different from empathic. Even though Pisces is empathic just means that you are like picking up on the feelings of others, where you can feel what they feel, but where you may not even do nothing with that empathy. But empathetic means that you feel what somebody else feels, and you might do something out of the kindness of your heart as a result in order to ease their pain or suffering or whatever. So Pisces is both empathic but also empathetic, which is one of my favorite traits about Pisces. Also, Pisces in general can be rather non-judgmental and lacking in terms of prejudice. Pisces does produce that all-inclusive approach, like come one, come all. It don't matter if you're straight, gay, black, white, short, tall, ugly, fat, skinny. Everybody is invited. So that's how Pisces does it, because Pisces is not a judgmental or prejudiced sign. It's all inclusive. Lacking prejudice, I already said that. Understanding, patient, can be very easygoing and laid back. Pisces just has this non-threatening way about them. Now, if you come across some Pisces that do appear to be a bit threatening, it could be because of other things in their chart. So they could have some strong Aries energy. I noticed some Pisces with that Aries combination, they're usually dangerous. Same with Pisces with the strong Aquarius. Both ends, Aquarius and Aries, when they're flanking Pisces and a person got planets in all those signs, that could be a badass bitch. That could be somebody you don't want to fuck with. And that could be somebody that can fake the funk really well, especially when we're talking about that Aquarius Pisces combination. But if we're just talking about Pisces alone, Pisces can come across as very non-threatening. Devoted. Devotion is a Pisces term. Pisces is artistic, of course, but also scientific. You got some scientists, top scientists like Albert Einstein. He was a Pisces. Because, Pisces also rules labs. It rules like chemistry. Somebody being stuck in a lab all day. Pisces, they love it. And again, it's that isolation theme. Working in isolation, working behind the scenes. Of course, all that's Pisces. Pisces is also a healer. So a lot of healers, doctors, nurses are drawn to the medical field. That's very Pisces. Pisces is also the hero and the savior. And then we could take the hero a step further. So Pisces rules superheroes. So anytime you're watching Marvel or DC Comics movies based upon that, Superman, Batman, all that, you notice it always involves a costume, some type of disguise. That's very Pisces. Pisces rules superheroes, costumes, disguises. Basically, the person that's going to save the day, the person that has superpowers, all that is Pisces. And trust and believe, some of them do have superpowers. Well, happy birthday to your daughter, Trey. So Pisces is very spiritually attuned. So Pisces has that direct connection with the spirit world. The veil, as they say, is very thin for Pisces when it comes to that spirit world. And Pisces is extremely psychic, one of the most psychic signs of the zodiac. Pisces is a lucid dreamer. I mean, these people, they can be dreaming. They can be controlling what they're doing in a dream. They can stop the dream, wake up, go get a glass of water, go back to sleep, and go back to the same spot that they left the dream on. They can basically recall dreams very well. A lot of information comes through dreams for them. A lot of times they have prophetic dreams where they can see what's going to happen before it happens. So big time lucid dreamers, also visionaries. Pisces is all about vision. And if you envision something, it makes it more easier to achieve. Pisces is also the sign of glamour and glitz and sparkle. And like I said, that which is rare and precious. Very expensive jewels, very expensive perfume, going to the Michelin star restaurants, and you don't have to worry about you not being able to pay a bill because you got that much money, because Pisces produces insulation. It will insulate you from the threat of poverty. But on the underside, Pisces can deal with poverty in terms of being one of the disadvantaged, being down and out, being an outcast, being homeless. Pisces is one of the signs you want to look for when you could be facing the threat of homelessness, or if you want to see if someone's facing the threat of homelessness. They could have Pisces on the 4th. They could have Moon in Pisces. They could have Moon square Neptune. Pisces is the sign of vulnerability, let's be real. And in some cases, they can be very vulnerable. Pisces tends to have a support system. And another blessing with Pisces, they tend to attract people that will sympathize with them or will show sympathy towards them. A lot of times Pisces can do wrong and still end up doing okay, because people just tend to have this soft heart for Pisces. But it goes both ways, because Pisces tends to have a soft heart for all living creatures. Even when it comes to like a hardcore criminal, a lot of times Pisces has that higher understanding where they can understand why a person has turned rotten or why a person has committed this egregious crime, because they understand that, you know, we're not all dealt the same hand, and that some people have horrible upbringings where they were never able to really develop that conscience that's needed to stay on the straight and narrow. So Pisces is coming with some higher understanding that enables them to not judge people too harshly for their shortcomings. And in return, Pisces doesn't want you to judge them too harshly for their shortcomings. Pisces can be very forgiving, but they need that forgiveness in return. And another thing, because Pisces is so vulnerable, Pisces tends to have some spiritual protection, whether it's their ancestors, their spirit guides, some angel that's looking out for them. Pisces is that sign that, you know, is the victim. So in that respect, they're given special protection. This is why you don't fuck with Pisces on that level. The good ones, that is. If you start to fuck with a good Pisces that didn't do nothing to you to deserve that shit, a lot of times that person's ancestors, they gonna get together around a campfire, or they gonna be just sitting around in a circle, and they gonna be like, we gonna fix this person, we gonna teach this person a hard lesson because they messing with a child of God. That's how it be. A lot of times Pisces don't have to do anything to get some revenge, to get some get back, because the universe has their back like that. And a lot of Pisces will tell you that. Fuck with Pisces if you want to. Exactly. If Pisces snaps, you push them too far. Nicole for the Soul said, yes, they always have something warning them. Yup, it'll come back to bite you. Yup. Thank you, Dr. Kim, for your super chat. Yeah, you don't mess with a child of God. Yes, Pisces can be some of the sweetest people you'll ever meet, but they do have a dark side. All right, let me get into another Pisces celebrity. Let me see who I want to pick before we get into the dark side. Oh, and some more things about on the positive end. You know, Pisces promotes relaxation, and some of them, their presence just produces a very calming effect upon you. Like my Pisces daughter, she be telling me that her friends be saying that about her. Like, you know, they feel comfortable just going to sleep around her. Like they just, like Pisces will just have this sedative effect upon you. Pisces does rule sedative, but Pisces can basically put you in that very relaxed state. And also the full immersion that comes with Pisces, which is why they could be so great at being artists, scientists, healers, because they will become fully immersed in whatever they're doing and give it their all, and even bring it to a higher level. So they will get lost in something, and with that respect, basically they become the thing that they get lost in, if you get what I'm saying. And that can lead to perfection. Just like Virgo, Pisces has a strong perfectionistic streak, but they're not as anal and uptight as Virgo is. Like Pisces is more of a perfectionist on an idealistic and visionary level. Like if we lived in a perfect world, or I want things to be perfect like this, and usually they'll have somebody else help them to make things perfect. Whereas Virgo, they tend to be on the perfectionistic end in the most practical sense, and where they themselves are the perfectionists. But like a woman that has Venus and Pisces, she can be almost unrealistic in terms of what she expects. In terms of, let's say if she was decorating a house and she was hiring these contractors, and she hired an interior decorator, and she's communicating her vision, and the vision in her mind is perfection. It's all that she ever dreamed of. And then she has to be brought down to reality when the contractor says, well, this is going to cost you an extra $50,000 or an extra $75,000 if you want it done this way. And that's where Pisces people can get themselves into trouble money-wise, because a lot of times for Pisces, money is no object. It's about, no, this is how it should be and get it done. Okay, yeah, it costs that much, but this is my vision. And yeah, sometimes you got to bring Pisces back down to earth because they'll make you go broke. That's why men that get with women who are Pisces, a lot of them should have an endless supply of money, or they should have enough money to be able to help this woman realize her visions, help her to bring her visions to life. Women who are Pisces, whether you're a Pisces sun, Pisces moon, Pisces rising, Venus and Pisces, don't settle for less when it comes to dating men, because like I said, y'all got this magic quality to y'all where y'all can make men just start peeling back hundreds. Y'all can make men come out their wallet. Now, some of y'all can get with the, can be in one of those Salvation Army relationships, United Way relationships, if you're not careful, but you got that Pisces magic on your side. And yeah, you can really, like the light said, Pisces men can get women to take care of them easily. Same with Pisces women. Yes, both of them. Because Pisces just has this aura to them where people just want to take care of them. And people want to just give them the world and all that type of stuff. And Pisces a lot of times will be devoted where they will deserve that type of special treatment. Yes. All right. Now, who was I going to talk about? Okay. Oh, let me bring up this dude. Because he gets on my damn nerves. And I don't think I ever really looked at his chart. And I saw a video about him not too long ago about his bad luck in the relationship department. Oh my God, look at that. Okay. Oh, y'all lucky that's a web file that I can't click on. I mean, that I can't save. That's messed up. All right, we'll try this. Remember this song, y'all? Some people can hold it together. Some people can love one another for life. How about us? Why am I thinking about that song when I'm thinking about this dude? Some people can hold it together, last through all kind of weather. Can we? How about us? How about us, baby? How about us? How about us? Y'all remember that? That's old school. Wasn't that group called Champagne? Like, why am I thinking of that song? Thinking about Common. Some people made for each other. He looked like the How About Us dude until he, basically come back down to reality and he'd be like, I don't think I love her. Now they say he's had some bad relationship juju, some bad relationship karma. Yeah, Champagne. That was like the only song they had. Can we? How about us? How about us, baby? How about us? How about us, girl? But yeah. Wait a minute, he has a new movie out. It's called Alice. What's this about? First of all, he's another one that I question how he made it into Hollywood. Because let's be real. And well, I'll just say, in my opinion, and I consider myself to be a hip hop connoisseur, Common was mediocre in terms of his rapping skills. His flow was never quite right. And you can't say it's a Pisces thing because Method Man is a Pisces and Method Man kills it on the mic. So you can't say his flow is all screwed up because he a Pisces. Shabazz say he likes okay grimy in this pic. Good night, Kimmy. Hate to see you go. Thank you, Queen Dara. I'm glad you said it and I didn't have to say it. He slept his way in. That's exactly what I was getting at. Because Common was mediocre, let's be real, when it came to his flow, when it came to rapping and all that. There are times when you need someone. That's when you knew he was making his segue over into Hollywood when he came out with that song, The Light. There is a light that shines special for you and me. Okay, I got some super chats. Hold on, let me attend to this. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Ken. I think you're just giving me some love because I'm preaching tonight. And I'm preaching to the choir with you. Thank you, Florida, for your super chat. So you said Pisces Celeb. Feel free to read the charts. Thank you so much for that generous super chat. Latoya Luckett. Interesting. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Shamari DeVoe. Oh, Shamari, Ronnie's girl. Rashawn Nall. Chili. Yeah, I was going to get into Chili, but not too much. Stoney Jackson. I remember Stoney with that carefree curl. Tasha and Sidra Smith. Who are they? Bob Thompson. I was going to talk about Ja Rule, but just a little bit, not too much. Sammy, Mark Taylor, Chingy. I didn't realize Chingy was a Pisces, but now that you mention it, I could definitely see him being a Pisces. Even that name alone, Chingy. And he had that voice. You know, some Pisces got that cartoonish type of voice. But thank you so much, Florida. Common. So they were saying that Common, hasn't he been, oh, Tay B, thank you, Tay B, for letting me know about the Cash App. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so you said, is my brother girlfriend a hidden enemy? Lord have mercy. Drama in the household. Is my brother girlfriend a hidden enemy? Thanks for posting your question in the Cash App. It makes it so much easier. Is my brother girlfriend a hidden enemy? I got the 9 of Swords. That tells me that there is some strife between you and her, or there's something that she don't like about you. It's like you vex her for some reason. Now, I don't know if you mean hidden enemy towards your brother or towards yourself. You can clarify, but that 9 of Swords, that's like her talking shit behind your back. That's like her, but also whenever she hears you talk, it could be like she just feels some type of way. She may not like what you're telling your brother, or you might be looking out for your brother and she may not like that because maybe she is a little bit predacious. But yeah, that's not a good card. So towards you. So yeah, that's even worse. Basically, you could basically look at her as she probably talking shit about you. She probably, don't like that you're have a close relationship with your brother if you do. And I would just watch her. I would keep one eye open if y'all all living under the same roof. No, I'm not saying it's that bad, but just know that she could be running her mouth about you at times. I would just say be careful what you tell her with that 9 of Swords card, because she could be running her mouth and spreading your gossip and spilling your tea. Just know that she's not to be trusted. Now, Common, he's that Pisces guy that always wants to try to come across as the good guy. You notice that some Pisces got that shit with them. They want to always seem like, again, they want to seem like the saint. They want to come across as blameless. Oh, they're just a nice guy that's been, given a bad hand in the love department. Oh, he don't know what happened. Oh, that just reminds me. I did want to talk about Will Smith real quick. I know I haven't read a chapter out of Will Smith's book the whole week, but mainly because I've been stewing about him. And yeah, I'm going to continue reading that book. But yeah, I just found out some stuff about Will Smith that I'll tell y'all about in a minute. And again, I got to give y'all the update on this recovery situation. I'm like itchy right now. That's one of the updates. The itching. I'm starting to itch more and more. And they said that this would happen, like when your nerves start coming back alive. And I'm also experiencing some burning sometimes. They said that would happen. So I'm at the 3-month mark. I am feeling much stronger than I was. Every day I feel stronger and stronger. I can do more. I don't have to sleep in the recliner anymore. And I gotta get it out of my bedroom because it's been in my bedroom for like 3 months now. I can sleep on my side. I can sleep on any side I want. I can sleep on my back. So the recovery process is going real well. I'm still dealing with the open wound, but it's closing up. Like it's getting less and less. It's not nearly as deep as it was. And at this point, I'm so freaking used to it. It'll be interesting when it finally totally close up because I'm gonna be like, damn. But they did say it could take months because it was a deep ass wound. And I go back to my surgeon on the 29th of this month. So it'll be interesting to see what he has to say. And one thing I'm not happy about is, yeah, that's what I heard. The itching means that it's healing. One thing I'm not happy about, I didn't realize my belly button could shrink. So it shrunk tremendously. So I got to talk to my surgeon about that. Like, I don't know if he can like drill a whole new hole up in there or widen it, but I have a little vitamin that I put in there, one of those little gel little caps to try to keep it from totally closing up. Like, no, people don't be telling you this shit a lot of times. People don't be telling you everything you need to know, including your surgeon, about post-op care. Like, I didn't realize, and me and myself now I'm like saying, well, why didn't you realize? Like, that's a whole new hole. Of course it would try to close up. So it's still open, but it's like real small. It's not like I wanted a big one, but I don't want it to look like I just don't want it to close up totally where I look like an alien. Cause that's the way people could tell you're human is if you got a belly button. But yeah, it's like I have a belly button. I didn't realize how small it was. I'm still dealing with the swelling. And I'm starting to swell up now. And the swelling always gets worse like after I eat because of the sodium. But then it tends to like get worse at night too. But I could tell the swelling is starting to lessen up, so that's good. And then the really good news is I was able to my claim with the manufacturer of the cool sculpting equipment was approved after they denied me twice. I was not giving up. So they denied my claim twice to get paid for this, to get my surgeries paid for. And the third try, they approved me with the help of my surgeon and the help of the cool sculpting provider. And this month, they sent me a check for the full amount of the surgery. So I am very happy about that. I feel like justice has been served. None of it was out of my, and the beauty of the reimbursement check, it's not like I have to use it to pay off a credit card because I paid cash for the surgery. And then to get a reimbursement check, so it's like I never even spent nothing, but I have a brand new body and all that. Hell yeah. So I was ecstatic about that. But when I tell you that process was stressful and they act like they didn't want to give me the money at first, yeah. If you ever get botched by cool sculpting, go after them for reimbursement if you've already got the surgery. If you haven't gotten the surgery, they'll pay for it as long as you have, like, your doctor basically has to sign off and say, yeah, you got PAH, and then they have to basically provide them with a quote. And that was the issue I had with FedEx because I was supposed to get that. I got the check last week, I think, but I was supposed to get it 2 weeks prior because they had sent me out a check via FedEx. FedEx said they delivered the check, but they never did. I think somebody stole my check. And not like they could cash it anyway, but I had to contact the insurance company. They had to put a stop payment on that first check, and then they had to send me out a whole new check, and then I got that. So yes, won't he do it? Won't he do it? So for those that were curious as to how much those surgeries cost, I don't know if I should share this with y'all because some of y'all be like, yo, you crazy. But I don't know. It was that, I'll just say it was that bad that I was willing to take a L financially. But really, that wasn't an L because that was money well spent, in my opinion, because I wasn't sure that I'd be able to get reimbursed. But I'll just say it was a big chunk of change that, you know, that these surgeries amounted to. So to be able to have them pay for it, I feel very blessed. Moonlight Orange said, don't share. Who's Linda? Oh, Linda. Wait a minute. Who's Linda? Linda who? Thank y'all for the congrats. Yeah. So I'm feeling very, like, again, I feel like justice was served. I really do. I feel like justice was served. All right. I'll just give y'all the range. So for both of my surgeries, I'll say it was over 10,000 but under 20,000. So you could say right in the middle. So without telling you the full amount. So y'all could work that out in your heads. It was less than 20 but more than 10. Thank you. Thank you everybody for the congrats. Oh yeah, Linda's chart. Yeah. Now, I don't know if Linda got paid by Allergan, which is the company that makes that cool sculpting equipment, but I think she's still like going through it, and I know she has a lawsuit and all that type of stuff. So, we'll see how it goes. But back to Common. Y'all are putting out prices like the Price is Right. But yeah, I'm blessed in that respect. But know what else this taught me? Because this week Saturn is squaring my nodes. So Saturn is in Aquarius, is squaring my North Node in Scorpio, squaring my South Node in Taurus. And just this transit alone has had me kind of apathetic. And I was kind of down. And it just made me realize that everything is about anticipation. You know, when you're anticipating something, it's just like sex. And, leading up to the orgasm. I always said it's always feels the best when it's leading up to the orgasm. You know what I'm saying? Like the orgasm itself feels good, but that moment right before the orgasm, to me, that feels the best. And that's what enables you to have that orgasm, because you're dealing with sensations that are heightened, like they're at their zenith, and then boom, it's about to just pop off. But then once you have that orgasm, and you release, then it's like the happiness, the excitement, the elation, all that kind of starts to die down. And that's how I felt about this reimbursement check. Like once I learned that I was getting it, the anticipation had me just like, wow, I was so charged up. And then to me, I felt like this was a lesson for my Taurus South Node, Scorpio North Node. And then when I was having challenges with getting the check delivered, I was losing my damn mind. I was even asking the universe, like, okay, what lesson do I have to learn for why it's so hard to get my hands on this check? I was like, what did I do wrong and all this type of stuff? But to me, it just was letting me know, like, look, you can get a certain amount of money. You could have a certain amount of money. But like they always say, money doesn't guarantee happiness, or money is just money. And you could get used to things real quick. And next thing you know, you want more and more and more. And I was doing some readings, like I was doing some Sabian symbol readings about why is this check taking so long. One of the Sabian symbols really got real with me and was like, bitch. Of course, it didn't call me a bitch, but it was like, bitch, you have everything you need. You stressing over something that you know you're going to get. It's taking a while, but you're not starving. You got a roof over your head. You got these blessings right in front of you, but you looking over here for something that's out here when you're not just living in the moment and appreciating what you have. And again, I feel the same way. Like, I know I would be the same way if I were to win the lottery, which one day I hope I do. But that shit is going to, like, the whole excitement is leading up to boom, you find out that you win. And then once you win and that money comes in, that's when the real test begins. And that's why you got a lot of those lottery winners, they end up not being happy, or they end up being miserable because they realize that they're coming down from this high. You done built yourself up for this big event, and then when the event is over, you crash, you come down, and then next thing you know, it's like, okay, it's like a same old day. So this whole process has just taught me to be more stoic about money. And I always try to practice stoicism anyway, not to get all crazy over things. But it's basically taught me how to be more stoic about money and how to basically appreciate what I have in the here and now, especially being in a position where I can honestly say that, I'll be okay, as long as the gas prices don't get to like $20 a gallon. The fact that the gas prices are high right now, I'm not really feeling it, unlike some people. So I need to be grateful. I need to really just check myself sometimes and say, you know what? You have most of what you need. I would actually say I'm at a point in my life where I have everything that I need. I don't want for anything. And what I do want for is just, it's fluff. It's extra shit. I've never been a homeowner. I would love to own a home, but even that, it's like the same thing. You be building up to that high of buying a home, buying your first home, boom. But once you buy it, you get used to that shit. And now you're complaining about the HOA fees. Now you're complaining about the property taxes. Now you're complaining about that new air conditioning that has to be put in. So I've even learned how to kind of chill on the whole home buying thing too, especially because I was starting to get really bent out of shape because the way the cost of housing is now through the roof. And I was like, I might never be able to own a home. But you can't look at it like that, because you got a lot of homeowners right now where, yeah, they might be grateful that they're not paying these high rents, but they still dealing with problems. Their furnace might be on the brink. They might need to, fix the plumbing or something. All that's coming out of their pocket. So it's like with life, you're just exchanging one problem for the other. So it's like, now that I know I got this reimbursement check and all this stuff, it's like I just got to be prepared for the next problem, for the next obstacle. I already, conquered that. Now it's on to some next shit. And I have to just stop living for that moment, living for that event, and just living in the day to day as things come, and just be grateful every day. So I did wake up today, and one of the first things I said was, I'm grateful to be alive. I was like, I'm grateful for my clients. I'm grateful for my students. I'm grateful for the life I have. I'm grateful for everything that I do have. Because again, that's hard. Stop being cheap and treat yourself. Yeah, I have a problem with doing that too. Just treating myself and all that type of stuff. But yeah, this whole process with trying to get reimbursed and all that stuff, and then finally getting it, it was like the whole thing where you're about to have an orgasm. It feels so good leading up to it, and then boom, you had that orgasm, and now you and your lover are at each other's necks, arguing and shit. Whereas the orgasm, the sex part, that lasted a good 10 minutes. And now y'all back to stressing about things. You back to feeling down. You back to wishing you had this. You back to yearning for something, yearning for more. I'm like, where does it end? It doesn't ever end. And that's why filthy rich people, they're still not satisfied, because the human spirit gets used to things very quickly. And we always are about anticipation. What is life without anticipation? About anticipation, about something coming that's going to be different or better than what we already have. Whereas a lot of times we need to just exist in the moment. Good night, Adrian. Thanks for joining us. Now, I went off on a serious tangent. Let me pull up comments chart. But yeah, I just wanted to give y'all the update on my situation. And let you know how things are going from there. So Common has Sun opposition Pluto, but his Pluto is at the 0 degree of Libra. Makes me think of that relationship he had with Serena. Let me try to find a picture he has with Serena, because I thought that was an odd couple, but now thinking about Common being a Pisces and with that Sun opposition Pluto, that does kind of fit. Especially when you see this picture. I always felt like Serena, she kind of favors Mike Tyson. And I'm not dissing her or anything. I mean, it is what it is. I'll just say Common has some varied taste. But that's very Pisces, because Pisces can be very fluid in terms of what they like, in terms of attraction, in terms of relationship. Now, it's kind of strange, though, how big Serena's head is compared to Common. Usually, it's the man that has the bigger head. Now, I know Serena is kind of standing in front of him, but I mean, that's a big ass head. So I'm just saying, I know who was throwing around who in the bedroom. But maybe Common does like his women with something a little extra. Who else has he been with? Isn't that one unique couple? Who else has Common been with? I'm gonna have to do a part 2, because I'm starting to already lose my momentum. Common is short. How short is Common? They look odd but cute. God, I don't ever want to bump heads with Serena. She'll knock your ass out. Talk about concussion. Oh yeah, he was with Tiffany Haddish. He was with Erykah Badu. So as we see, he's with women that are kind of out there in some type of way. Tiffany Haddish, she's a little out there with, her comedy and the way she acts sometimes. We know Erykah Badu, called Tyrone, is out there, especially with this latest dude that she's been with. And then Serena, she's out there in her own special way too. I'll never forget that tennis match where she broke that tennis racket on the court. I was like, damn. Them tennis rackets, they're not easy to break like that. That shit shattered on the court. I was like, damn, Serena got some manly strength. Cherry Bell said Pisces men like masculine women. But yeah, he's very much fluid, and Pisces is a sign of fluidity when it comes to his choice in women. Let's pull up a picture with him and Erykah. It was after he got with Erykah that he started wearing the macrame hats and stuff like that. Erykah will turn every dude out she get with. That little young thing she's with probably wearing fishnet pantyhose right now as we speak. Fishnet, black pantyhose. All right, let me just pull up a picture of these two. Now, Pisces sometimes has shit to hide. And I'm wondering if Common is hiding some aspects of his sexuality through these women. Are these women more so his muses instead of his true loves? Queen Dara says, Shaq is my ideal Pisces. I was thinking about talking about Shaq. Thank you, Florida. You said few more. Terrence Howard, I have him on my list. I didn't realize D.L. Hewley, with his whiny ass, is a Pisces. He gets on my damn nerves. Flavor Flav, Brandon T. Jackson, Wanda Sykes, I have her on my list. I do not think Wanda Sykes is funny. And I would say Pisces comedians can struggle in that area. Leon is a Pisces. He's very fluid. Let's see how many fluid men we have on here. Terrence Howard, fluid. D.L. Hewley, fluid. Flavor Flav, I wouldn't call him fluid. He was just more about the drugs. Brandon T. Jackson, he was fluid. Ain't that the dude that played in Big Mama House, Big Mama 2 or whatever, and he got dressed as a woman just like isn't that Brandon T. Jackson? Correct me if I'm wrong, Florida. Let me see who else. Clifton Powell, he seems pretty rigid. Quincy Jones, fluid. Richard Lawson, fluid. Timberland, fluid. I don't know who Dre's is. Shaq is fluid because Shaq has dressed up as women before. AZ, the rapper, is that who you're talking about? I Want to Chill or Sugar Hill? Him? There's a lot of fluid dudes up in that list, but it makes sense because, like I said, Pisces is a fluid sign. So you think Clifton Powell, he fluid too? He walking on water? We could talk the water. Bitch, I walk on top of water. We gonna walk on water. Bitch, I walk on top of water. That's my shit. So here he is. Now, another thing, Pisces can be a chameleon. So this is what Common basically is. He's a chameleon, and that Sun opposition Pluto, with Pluto being in Libra, is showing that he can switch up per his relationships. So he can be whatever his woman wants to mold him into being. Hey, Christina. I didn't realize you were Wild and Regal TV. You said Common was also with attorney and political commentator Angela Rye. Oh, yeah, I heard about that. So that also speaks to his broad range of attraction. Look, he's like, he'll take anybody in a skirt just as long as she's his beard. Basically, that's what I'm seeing with Common. But thank you so much for your super chat, Christina. And thank you so much for your contribution, because I totally forgot about Angela Rye. Let me pull her up. Now, she's real pretty. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's very fluid in terms of who he'll get with. But I think it's all to disguise who he really is. Let's pull up a picture of him and Angela Rye. Now, she looks controlling, though. So, but, you can control a Pisces man. A lot of them like being controlled. Why are there all of these web pics nowadays? These celebrities scrubbing the internet of these pictures. They won't let you save them anymore. All right, I'm about to pull up a picture of him and Angela Rye. And it's a damn shame because he got these women full in true Pisces fashion. He's basically, doing this smoke and mirrors thing, making these women think that they really have a chance with him when his heart is totally in another man's pants. But because he's a Pisces, he can disguise that very well. They just think that he's this sensitive, gentle man until, they spent enough nights with him and they find out he's the real bitch in the bedroom. And he look like the type that's going to be very particular about stuff too. Like I spoke about in my Dark Side of Pisces video, I was like, some of them can be real particular and they could be damn near, like I said, perfectionists, where everything has to be a certain way. Everything has to be to a T. He might even want to dress his girlfriends. I wouldn't be surprised. So let me see. He got Sun opposition Pluto. Like I said, I already told y'all what that has to deal with. He got Moon in Pisces, quincunx, Leo South Node. That could be issues with his sexuality, and he's using that Moon in Pisces, women as a beard, or he's using women to hide about who he really loves. Let me see. He got Aries on the 5th with Mars in Taurus, opposing that Scorpio ascendant. That's definitely beard. That's beard. That's a beard hookup all day. He's getting with women. Let me share my screen, pull up his chart so y'all can see this. He's getting with women to appear to be quote unquote normal. Now, I'm saying quote unquote because I don't want y'all to think that me saying a guy is gay is abnormal. But let's be real. For a guy that's in a closet, yeah, for him to pretend like he's straight, that's like saying, okay, I'm gonna act like I'm normal. I'm a normal guy. You know what I'm saying? So that Mars in Taurus opposing his Scorpio ascendant, it's like that's who he really is. With that Scorpio, is showing you, him being a very sexual guy, but with that ascendant opposing Mars, it's like he's just using women as a beard, as a cover to come across as normal. But that same opposition can make him on the prowl for certain types of men, especially men that he deems to be very good looking. Serena. And again, Serena, in my opinion, she's not your average beauty in terms of women, but if you like the type of women that have that strong masculine look, then yeah, I could see how he could be into Serena. He got Neptune in his first house, which can mean, again, he got something to hide. Now, on one hand, we know that that's him being in the industry, music, but also Hollywood. But you also got to ask yourself, with that Neptune in the first, that could deal with there's something about yourself, something about your persona that you're hiding. Neptune opposing Saturn and Gemini. Somebody might be trying to blackmail him because Saturn is co-ruler of that second house. Somebody might be threatening to go to the media about his sexuality. That could happen a number of times, and they could have pictures to prove it. Florida, thank you for your super chat. You said Mark Taylor, aka Grandpa Gene, he's fluid. I gotta look him up. Grandpa Gene. Let's see. He got Venus in Taurus in the 6th house. He's mainly just dealing with these women on a very working relationship level. These women are helping him in some way. He helps them. Like they go shopping together and all that type of stuff. And yeah, they talk about the latest fashions and what's hot and all that type of stuff. But I don't see no true love being there. His true love is with men, with that Aries on the 5th. Mercury could join the Chiron in the 5th. He probably likes men that are very masculine, very muscular, which is why he went after Serena. North Node in Aquarius. He got that gay lunar nodal axis. North Node in Aquarius. South Node in Leo. So he has a hard time coming out, though, because Venus is squaring that Aquarius North Node. So he has a strong need to try to appear, again, quote unquote, normal. Normalcy, that's ruled by Taurus. But then when you got that square to that Aquarius North Node, every now and then, the gayness in him is going to come out. It's going to beg to come out. That can even deal with where he is in a relationship and his woman starts to question why you spending so much time with your friend, with your male friend, with your best friend. Why y'all always spending the night together? Why y'all sitting so close on the couch together? Things like that. But enough about Common. Let's talk about someone else. Actually, let's get into the dark side of Pisces and then we'll come up with another celebrity. Oh, I know who I wanted to talk about before. I'm going to have to do a part 2, y'all, because I'm already feeling like a little bit tired. And I've been sitting in the same position, which isn't good. So probably Saturday night, I'll be doing part 2. But I definitely want to talk about her before I get off. But in terms of the dark side of Pisces, there's a lot of dark qualities dealing with Pisces. I mean, it's just so dark. Pisces is one of the darkest signs you'll ever come across. Pisces actually scares me when it comes to the darkness that it can produce. Because Pisces is that sign where you could easily get lost in madness. It is one of the signs that is an indicator for schizophrenia, or where you just lose your damn mind, severe paranoia, being delusional. So Pisces can be scary when it's on the dark side. I mean, there's like no turning back. Like Pisces is a dark abyss. So on the center end, Pisces is a liar, a thief, a cheat. Pisces can be unrealistic, can be too passive, and then want to blame people for getting in front of them. And some literally at times, like they could be standing in line and somebody get right in front of them, and then they'll, be all pouting about it, be all complaining about it, but won't do anything about it. So they could be even passive to that extent. So playing the victim role is a dark-sided Pisces trait. Being self-deprecating, always basically making jokes about yourself and acting like you can't do this and you can't do that and you're a loser type of person. The self-deprecation is big with dark-sided Pisces. Acting helpless, being forgetful, being oblivious. Even the light-sided ones, a lot of times they're oblivious to what's really going on. They're oblivious to their man cheating. They're oblivious to their mother taking their tax refund. They're oblivious to somebody, getting them with credit card fraud. A lot of times they're not really looking where they should. So the whole obliviousness is very dark-sided Pisces. Being disorganized, being preachy. Sometimes Pisces has this do-gooder type of attitude and they could come across as real preachy and stuff. Don't let it be a Pisces that goes to church. Lord have mercy. And sometimes they are too devout too. And a lot of them will fail to take responsibility for their transgressions. They lack accountability, like to shift blame on the others, deflect blame, change the subject when you got them on the hot seat. They could be too impressionable, gullible, engage in self-pity, have pity parties for themselves. Irrational fear, that's another one that comes with Pisces on the dark end. Of course, imprisonment, being in bondage to something or someone, being a slave to someone or somebody, or just slavery in general. Some of them are lazy, sleep too much, big time addicts, drug addicts, alcoholics, you name it. Pisces can be a big quitter too. So they tend to quit when the going gets rough. They could be big time worry warts, cry babies, hypersensitive, delusional, being under an illusion, haunted. Some Pisces people are just haunted. Like spirits just like to attach themselves to them. They could live in a haunted house, but their bodies could be haunted. They could have spirits all running up in them. Creepy, some of them, especially the men, especially like in terms of their sexual desires. These are the men that could be the serial masturbators, the ones that play with sex dolls and all that. They may want their woman looking like a doll. Bad with money, weak or strange concept of money. Again, the isolation theme that I spoke of before, being fully immersed in whatever they're doing. Now, that could be a positive trait, but it can also be a negative because, as you can see with some of the more famous serial killers that are Pisces, they became fully immersed in the whole world of murder and just mayhem, that they were able to just do some really egregious acts like Eileen Wuornos, Richard Ramirez, John Wayne Gacy. Some of the darkest serial killers to have ever lived are Pisces. And that's because they become fully immersed in their own world and they just get lost in it. And that's how they'll see things that aren't even there. So like in the case of Eileen Wuornos, it was like every guy became the guy that raped her. Remember, she tried to say, and I'm not even sure if this is true, but actually I do believe that she was probably telling the truth. The reason why she started killing these dudes was it started with the first guy, and I'm gonna probably do a separate reading on Eileen Wuornos, but her story is really crazy. But it started with the first guy that raped her and sodomized her. She was a prostitute, and she ended up having this John that murdered her and raped her. Oh yeah, I'm going to get into Bobby Christina too. She ended up having sex with this John. Why did I say murder her? But he raped her and sodomized her, and next thing you know, she blew him away. And then from that point on, she was killing all these guys. And being in that total immersion of Pisces, it was like every guy from that point on became that same guy that initially raped her. But I think it even goes back to her grandfather, because her grandfather was raping her. And it was basically like every guy she was killing, she saw her grandfather's face in their face. And with Pisces, they can be far gone like that. And that a lot of times that's how they justify doing evil, doing what they do, because they don't even see that person as a person. They see them as an image or a composite sketch of a bunch of things from their past that gave them a lot of pain and misery. So yeah. So Common is one of them. Also about the dark side, like I said, get lost in fantasy. Again, Pisces is just when it's dark, it's really dark. It's like a deep abyss, and it's really easy to drown in a sea of your own emotions. It's easy to drown in a sea of your own delusions, drown in fantasy, all that type of stuff. And I got so much more, but I'm starting to like feel that burn that I told y'all about. And I think it's because I've been sitting in one place and my body is starting to protest. But I promise, I know I shouldn't make promises because I'm a Sagittarius with Sun conjunct Neptune. But I promise I'll do part 2 on Saturday. Because tonight, what is it, Friday? So I know we having a fish fry tonight. But tomorrow night, what can we call it? Shrimp Scampi Saturday or something like that. Because I'm starting to really feel like just that burn. You said stand up, but if I stand up, I'm really going to want to just walk around. I know, Diana, but you got to bear with me. I am in recovery. I will use that as an excuse for the rest of this year. I bet you got to bear with me. I am in recovery. And how about this, Diana? I could still do Aquarius because I want to do Mars in Aquarius. Because you know I've been doing live streams with Mars through the sign. So I could still go back and kind of do like a quasi part 2 for Aquarius season with Mars and Aquarius. And I got some good examples of Mars and Aquarius too. Yeah, thank you, Queen Dara. So yeah, I'm going to have to cut this short because I am starting to feel kind of achy. But I feel like I gave y'all enough to chew on so far. I did want to talk about Bobby Christina. Maybe I'll have time to pull her up real quick. She had a really sad, short life. Does anybody remember what year she died? Bobby Christina was a Gemini South node, and her sun was squaring the nodes. Mercury squaring the nodes. Whenever you have squares to the nodes like that, a lot of times you are dealing. So she died in 2014. A lot of times you are dealing with some heavy karma involving, just your life in general, and situations like what occurred with her could occur when you have, especially like personal planets squaring the nodes like that. Did she never had any children, did she? Probably not, because let me see, if she died in, what year did she die? Because she had just became like an adult, didn't she? 2014, and she was, so what, she was 21? Yeah, she didn't even have time to live her adult life. And she didn't have children, but I know she was married to that guy. And then for some reason, he got a lot of flack. But I gotta study up on her story before I dig into her chart. So next time I go live, which will be this Saturday, I'm gonna get into her story and read about her chart. Now let me see. She did have Moon opposition Neptune, which can deal with a drowning. But usually that can mean that, it wasn't like she voluntarily, you know what I mean? Because didn't they try to say she drowned just like Whitney Houston in the bathtub? Oh, that guy died too. So her man died. She definitely had conflicts with her mother. I don't care how close. Yeah, Red Bunny. I don't care how close. See, if I leave now, I'll have energy to go live tomorrow. Yeah. But what was I saying? She definitely had issues with her mom. But, that's just common having a mom that's a superstar. And that could just deal with times where she really wanted to be around her mom, but her mom either was busy with Bobby Brown. Y'all saw that on the Being Bobby Brown documentary. Well, not that reality show. That shit was sad on Bobby Christina's end, because you could tell in a lot of scenes, Bobby Christina just wanted to have normal parents. and wanted to do things without the cameras being all in their face, but she wasn't, able to. That's messed up. But yeah, we'll get into her chart a little bit. She had Venus square Neptune too, Venus square Uranus. But yeah, that was sad. Sad story. But yeah, so that's that. That's it for tonight. Because again, my body's starting to protest and I am sitting on the floor and I know that can't be good for a long period of time. And it's been over 3 hours. So I'm not sure if I'll be going live Saturday afternoon. Probably not because I got an afternoon class. But that's over at 2:30 my time. So I'll probably go live around the same time I went live tonight. So probably around 10 o'clock Eastern. No, wait a minute. That's 11 o'clock Eastern. Because they did say they did the daylight savings time. Damn, I didn't realize. Well, maybe I'll go live 7 o'clock tomorrow, which will be 10 o'clock Eastern. And then Patreon patrons will be doing the watch party on Sunday night. And yeah, so consider becoming a patron if you want some type of social life. If you don't have a social life, if you don't have no friends, you ain't really fond of your family and you like to watch movies with people, consider joining my Patreon. I also will post things every now and then dealing with celebrities and, current events and stuff. I'll be posting some more. We do like surveys and polls. Also, free birthday reading. So consider becoming a patron. Here's my Patreon. Also, if you would like a reading, you could go to my website. Here it is right here. And yeah, so I'm out for tonight. I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to make me a snack. And yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. See, I can't even think straight. I'll see y'all tomorrow night for part 2 of Pisces season. All right. Take care. Love y'all. Be back. Right, buddy, you funny. Yes, we be lit on page, and I have a company in Discord too. So if you sign up for Patreon, let me know, and I'll send you a link to Discord. Well, I'll see that you sign up for Patreon. I'll just respond to the email, and I'll send you the Discord link so you can join us on Discord too. All right, so love y'all. I'll be back tomorrow with part 2 for Pisces season.